Hey, Joe, I know it's a pain in the ass with 4 people. If somebody appears to be going on a rant,
go one shot.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's going to
love
be a
that.
lot of ranting
Yeah.
today after last night.
Yeah. It's just hard to do with 4 people, but I will give
Yeah.
it my best.
Yeah, you got your hands full today, Joe.
Yeah.
well, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is free for all Friday. So Joe screws up Friday.
Or Lizzie screw up Friday.
Yeah.
And Eric and Kelly are coming in, so you know how that goes.
Yeah. Never mind. I was going to say, so it'll be on Eric a lot.
That's right. It's Friday.
Okay. Hey, Joe, do
He's
you know how to
pent up.
take my computer and
Is it
turn the sound
the
off?
mute? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that the one I was messing with?
No, this is mine, and I don't know why it's doing it. Yours is
Echo.
I-
Echo. Oh,
No.
hey guys, welcome to the show before the show.
Yeah, on Friday, and especially if Eric watched that last night, he will have a lot of pent up things that he's going to.
Do we have sound on, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody said at first we didn't have sound.
I think we have sound.
Now we're good. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. No, I think he just had us muted when you and I were talking. Look at this.
Thanks for your help. Ben is such a very good friend.
Ben's the best.
He
really is.
He kind of found another friend in Mark Kasen is going to be on the show.
That's interesting. And that says a lot about Ben, that he can get along with normal people like you and I, and he can get along with people that are wrong in a car crash and crazy.
Yeah, but they have 2 big things in common. They're both from New York originally, or
yeah.
they had some New York, I think, a little bit.
I can see where they had that in common for sure.
You know, both Jewish men.
Yep.
Ben's successful, Mark's not.
That's why Mark Kasen gets along with Eric Wrighton, because they're both Jewish. I didn't understand that dynamic until recently. So you learn something new every day.
You remember me saying that Eric and I played soccer together growing up, right?
You and Eric Wrighton's played soccer together?
Dude, we were good friends in 7th and 8th grade.
I did. Are you really?
Why do you think
so that's why he likes you so much.
He does?
Yeah.
No, he came to me for his first interview after all the drama went down.
Right. I did.
So I did that big interview.
Correct.
But he didn't necessarily tell me the truth.
Right. He didn't give you all
Eric,
of the
I was like, Eric, and I've messed with him a little bit about it.
Right.
Eric, did you take a picture of her or not? Everything we did was consensual. No, did you take a picture?
Sure.
Everything was consensual.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until a year later that he finally started saying, there's no picture.
Right. He should have just said there's no picture.
Well, maybe he needed to take care of some things first.
Well,
maybe he needed to make sure that wasn't found on a laptop. I don't know. I'm sorry, Eric, if you're listening.
I don't know. When Eric wants to come on, it'll probably be next week, he told me.
Yeah, we played soccer together.
Now that I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting.
Yep.
I did not know that.
I was a star and he was my understudy.
I'm sure. Are you not ever the star, Victor Faust?
No, he played defense.
And I bet he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good. As a matter of fact, I think he played up a year with us.
Okay.
On our team.
Yeah, because he's very, very, very athletic. So
yeah, we were damn good.
I'm sure. I have no doubt. I'm sure the two of you in the same room. I've never been in the same room or been in the same interviewing with you and him. I've interviewed him, but not with you. So I'm really looking forward to that. That should be quite entertaining. You two blonde-headed beauties.
I've got gray hair, not blonde.
Okay. You gray and the one that's blonde.
Not that cool. I like to talk like him, but I'm not.
Yeah, he is pretty cool.
Guys, get your notes out. Get ready.
Oh my gosh.
Get your notes out from if you watched the speech last night.
You
we got a lot of that to do in the first hour today.
We've got so much of that.
Like, subscribe, share the show.
I was like throwing stuff at my TV last night. Not literally, but
I want to know what Biden takes. Because clearly you saw it wearing off.
You did. He takes Adderall. Sure of it.
Yeah.
And he takes Adderall, and then they put him away for 4 days to have him practice and probably fill him up with
this speech was terrible.
It really was.
Probably were giving him
one of the worst speeches in the history of presidential speeches because it was about nothing. It just
they're left talking points.
Not to mention the lies, not to mention
and the insults to half of America.
He's looking like
it shows how mean he is. He's mean. People think he's this nice, doddering old guy. And
no, he's
losing. He's mean.
Yeah,
he's mean.
We're going to get to all of that. Wanted to run a soundbite. We'll do it too with Josh Hawley first. This Coldwater Creek situation's going on. Well, Josh Hawley may have some success there.
Yes. We got heroes right here in the metro area dealing with this.
He's trying. And you're going to bring up something. I could not tell something about his hands. So you can get into that
yeah,
later.
I will get into that.
Don't forget that, please.
Yeah, I will get into his hands. I couldn't stop watching it. It was a train wreck that I couldn't stop looking at. And they're giving him clarity medicine that they give people with Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, it was clear that he's angry. Yeah. Mean. And Mandy said she is really glad that he addressed potato chips and Snickers. And he did that long before he mentioned anything about our safety or our border. We are back up again for the second day.
Oh, we're already at 1. We can go ahead and start the show because we got so much going on. Joe, could you ask our intern to get me a cup of coffee, please?
Greg couldn't come in today.
And welcome to cancelthisshow.com. It is Friday. It is March 8th. And I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks. Pro Joe in the house as well. I thought you said you had a camera, Pro Joe. At one point in time, you had it up and I don't see it anymore.
You mentioned this after we go on.
Yes, I do. And because I just saw a quote this morning where you were giving me crap. What am I, chopped liver? Because and it's like, here's the thing. Once again, when we see you, then I address you in those types of situations so people know. Unless you're on our show all the time, people don't know. We need to see your face.
But you know.
I know.
That's not the same.
I know.
It's not the same. We need to get you there. So anyway,
You're tired of him being Wilson?
Yes. Well, it's all right. No, we even got to see Wilson at least.
We did?
We saw the top of him.
Well, they did. We saw the top of his head.
We saw something tangible sitting in front of us. So anyway, This is Cancel This. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. It's a free-for-all Friday. We're going to get into everything that we have. We'll talk a little bit about Josh Hawley here real quick, what he's trying to do, because we'll promote a guest that we have coming up on Monday, Kim Byzantine, joining us, I believe out of Detroit, too. She's very involved with Coldwater Creek as well, just like we've had on the show as well. We've had other people. Thank God for Josh Hawley doing what he's doing. Then we're going to get into the speech from last night. Then we're going to have Cardinal Ritter Prep High School's classroom joining us. Mark Kasen's classroom going to join us again. Their homework was to watch Biden's speech last night. You will see how kids are being indoctrinated. Mm-hmm. You will hear a teacher, professor who really doesn't care about truth. I'm sorry.
And we need to show it. We need to show what's being taught.
So anyway, we'll try to have some fun with that. It's tough to listen to sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Anyway, we'll go from there. And then, of course, our 9 o'clock hour, Kelly Manno, Eric Johnson. We'll see where we go from all of there. I want to bring up a story, too. Allegedly, restaurants do not want and are doing everything they can to stop parties of 6 or more from coming in. Word is leaking out that allegedly they're not getting tips that are very good on individual plates. And it just becomes it's a frustrating situation. I had no idea. But anyway, that's what we have going on. Like, subscribe, share the show. Jump it on cancelthisshow.com. We've got, what's up, Eric? You saw me where?
You did a good job with Monica's little show.
Oh, Eric saw me on Monica. Eric Johnson coming in, getting all set up.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate Eric. Good to see you, buddy.
Did the show start yet?
Yeah, it showed.
I'm sorry.
Well, now it did. Now that you're here, it started. We were just warming up for you.
No,
Eric Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, good to see you. Eric, as always. We're getting things rocking. By the way, check out our website. We've got merchandise as well, the cancelthisshow.com. Check out the merch page on our website. Hats, shirts, Coolies, cups, Stanleys, Cancel This coffee. We've got it all there. You can do whatever you want. Let us know. You can purchase stuff for your friends. You can purchase stuff for your family. And you can purchase things for your frenemies, those Democrats.
The frenemies?
Frenemies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We've even got a frenemy on the show today. And I'm going to shut up because I want Eric to talk to Mark Kasen.
I do
today.
too. Oh yeah, we're waiting for you to do it.
Professor Mark Kasen will join us live from his Cardinal Ritter Prep classroom today.
Okay.
The kids had an assignment to watch the speech last night.
Okay.
So we're going to find out what the kids thought about the speech.
And they're all liberal. Keep that in mind.
Well, what did you think about the speech? Start there.
It was terrible. Hey, real quick.
It was terrible.
Monday, Kim Byzantine on the show to talk about the Coldwater Creek situation. Listen to the soundbite with Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley's getting damn serious. Obviously, the big story is the speech. We're going to get to that. But we want to promote Monday's show and our guest bright early, 10 a.m. Monday morning, Kim Byzantine, who has been following the Coldwater Creek situation as well. Listen to what Josh Hawley had to say. I believe this was 2 days ago or yesterday, what Josh Hawley's going to do. And then when he gets done, Joe, you can just cut out because there were more people that are on the end of the soundbite. But this is why I love Josh Hawley.
I would say about foreign aid, about Ukraine in particular. I'm not going to vote to send money to Ukraine unless and until we get nuclear radiation victims in the state of Missouri compensated. So I have said this till I'm blue in the face, and I will go on saying it. The people in St. Charles and St. Louis who've been exposed to nuclear radiation over 40 and 50 years have been lied to. It hasn't been cleaned up. They haven't been compensated. They need to get their medical bills paid for. When we are willing to do that, I'm happy to talk about aid to foreign countries, although not without oversight if it's going to be Ukraine.
I definitely.
That's exactly right. God,
So,
love it.
Every time I see this, I don't know how you feel about it, but Lizzie and I went to Francis Howe.
We did.
We were in Weldon Springs.
You were in Coldwater Creek, but you had it worse, I think.
I don't know. See, that's my problem with it. I think I'm involved in this. Don't you?
You are involved in this.
Don't you feel like that?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
My mom fought that back then when we had to remember it was.
But you're not Coldwater Creek.
Well, I'm Weldon Springs.
Yeah, that's just as bad. And we've had Trisha Byrne on this show twice talking about people that are in Francis Howe are at great peril, and there was higher cancer and all that.
Yeah,
right in the midst of that, Eric.
I know. So go Josh Hawley.
You betcha.
No, I agree though. It's like let's go ahead and send $300 billion overseas when there are people in our back here in Missouri who. I don't eat, and it's so. Here's the thing: every time I see like the Camp Lejeune thing,
were you at Camp Lejeune too?
Well, no. Every time I see those videos, I'm like, it's like Are you sure you have cancer because of Camp Lejeune? Are you sure that you have 4 arms because you went to Francis Howell back in 1980, whatever? You know, so it's one of those weird illnesses. So here's my question
You've
to
got
you.
6 fingers. Don't you have an extra pinky?
Yeah, because I play guitar so good. But my question is, how would I? Let's say I go get cancer, and a friend of ours does have cancer.
You go get it. Like
You just do you apply for this,
Yeah,
or how does
right.
that work exactly? So I'd like to talk to Josh Hawley.
Yeah.
And another thing, I love Josh Hawley.
Me too.
A lot of people cannot stand this guy.
I think his image has changed since he went to the Senate.
I do too.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think a
he
lot
has
of people
kicked ass
didn't
since
like
he's
him.
been there.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to respect him. You don't have to like him.
Yeah.
But damn, he's got some chops now.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's a guy that in certain circles, I'm not trying to go too far, but in the future, if this world's still around, if 2024 doesn't kill us all, dare I say president?
I could see it. I could
a presidential run. I've seen his name on a list.
He's polarizing. We have good senators.
And Trump's not polarizing?
Well, we've got good senators. I don't think of Hawley as a MAGA guy, though. I don't. He's kind of a little bit more lawyerish, kind of more put together, a little bit better spoken. I think that the MAGA uprising, if this thing moves past this election cycle, if Trump gets elected, which I think he might, I think that is kind of, you've just now set the stage for the bombasticness of the Republican Party. You know what I mean? Mitch McConnell's gone. Mitt
Romney's gone.
Did you see Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin sitting together last night? I was like, oh my God, the never wases.
The never was. I love
the old rhinos are the old guards leaving.
They're gone.
Daniel.
Nikki Haley has now bowed out. She has fizzled in. I don't know what's going on with the Republicans, but it is going to be a bombastic party in the future.
It's going to be great.
It's not going to be the Republicans of Ronald Reagan are over.
That's right.
Right? Even though we always bring up as a matter of fact, the Democrats bring up the Ronald Reagan Republicans more than Republicans bring up the Ronald Reagan Republicans. These new Republicans, you know what it is? The Rams were really good back in the.
Oh no, here we go.
Here we go.
The Rams.
The Jack Lambert Rams were really good. They won a few games here and there, but people wanted to see the Kurt Warner Rams, because they just knew how to score and they knew how to do it big. And that's what this new era of Republicans is doing. And they're bringing a lot of people over to their side. One out of every 4.
Because Trump controls the party now.
1 out of every 4 African Americans is now going to vote for Trump. That's insane.
I think it
25%.
He's going to get at least 25%. I agree. I totally agree.
Come on. They said if you get another 5% of that demographic, you win hands down.
Hands down.
Real quick, too, before we start talking about the speech from last night, we have to give this news out because it was a huge national story, worldwide story, and it was in St. Louis City, and it was Janae Edmondson. We did what we could. Our show donated to Janae Edmondson's cause, and we'll continue to help out when we can there. But a jury yesterday recommended 19 years for the driver that took her live, or that took her legs, excuse me.
Yes, and my heart ached when I saw her crying.
She showed, I don't want to, she showed her legs. She showed everything on the stand yesterday, or what was left of her legs. 19 years. I mean, I looked at that and I went, for that crime, I mean, I get it. 19 years is, for hitting somebody.
Yeah.
It's hard to assess what is a right sentence when you lose somebody's leg.
Her family is happy with that sentence,
but that's a big, when you look at how sentencing goes, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, what I saw, and I feel super sorry for her, what I saw was a changing of the guard in the prosecutor's office. Would you have seen that with Kim Gardner sitting there?
No. Absolutely
the prosecutor's
not.
office is doing a hell of a job. They really are.
They are. They're doing great. And because that happened to her, A.G. Bailey had more, I guess, grit to go after getting rid of her too. So, I mean, it was all a good thing, even though it had to happen to her.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to get that news out there. Okay. Last night, the big story, Joe Biden gave his speech. The best quote I heard about this speech right now, in my humble opinion, was Marco Rubio. He called it a proof of life speech. Yes, we know you're alive, Joe, because you were yelling and screaming and angry. I'm alive. I'm still breathing. And then he wilted out at the end of it. He just
That's a perfect analogy.
that was a commercial for Adderall and Ritalin.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
That was.
Holy
That's
shit.
Exactly right.
What? He was so jacked up.
I mean, that if anything, it should be a pharmaceutical company go, we put Joe Biden on Adderall for 26 hours, and he did a great State of the Union speech. I'd be cutting that thing up all day long, making
Absolutely.
pharmaceutical commercials.
We told you yesterday he would
Which I'm not against Adderall if it makes you do your job a little bit better.
Hey, now do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Get from point A to point B.
It was the most partisan speech ever.
Oh,
it was full of nothing. It was angry. It was mean. He lied right and left. Democrats did everything they could to pull him across the finish line, clapping at everything. You knew the media was going to jump on him. The left-leaning media was going, "Oh, he's so great. He's so wonderful."
Yeah.
The left think it was great. The Republicans are ridiculing it. It was sad. It was embarrassing. He had so many bad moments in the speech.
Yeah.
He did not try to do anything from a standpoint of getting along. It was anger, even at the Supreme Court, anger.
Yeah.
And then, my God, he tried to tell us that cupcakes are curing cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, is
gosh.
anybody else listening to the bullshit?
No.
He has lost his freaking mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't bad enough, we'll talk about the immigration standpoint, but you have to hear, I mean, and you guys saw it if you saw the speech. He went off script when he was talking about Laken Riley,
Mhm.
the Georgia nursing student, brutally, savagely
Lincoln
murdered,
Riley, right?
who he referred to here. Thank God for what's MJ or MG
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, I
Thank
was so
God
happy with her.
Thank God that her wildness and craziness actually gave us this moment. This is so embarrassing for Biden.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Winner, not really.
Lincoln Riley,
Oh my
an innocent
God.
young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing.
Okay, Joe, we can get out.
Please don't
Oh
make
my
me
God.
say anything about this.
Oh,
Please
no,
do.
that's why
Please.
you're here.
We want you to say something.
Lincoln
Say
Riley.
it, Eric. Say it.
Unbelievable. This the diatribe that clown. I don't want to call anybody names anymore. I'm sick of doing that. But the diatribe that this guy put together, knowing this is where the lies start. You have the ability. That's the key word of the day, ability, to put a complete end to this. Not only that, you can label these coyotes as terrorists.
Mhm.
You could come at this as hardcore. You don't need the Congress to go and put together a 5,000-page plan of attack to close down the border. The border is basically your job.
That's right.
It's
He can
your
go
job.
do it.
If you see someone in the brush and they're from Venezuela, bring them to a holding cell. They are not afforded any rights. They came over here illegally. We will put them on the first plane back to Venezuela, and you will not become a citizen of this country. We will also put together a flyer system, which you know that it will be written in your own language. If you come across the border right now and we catch you, you will not be eligible to be an American citizen or a visa program or anything for the next 5 years. So go at your own peril. If we catch you, it'll be like a big game of hide and go seek in the brush.
He did not talk immigration last night.
No, he didn't.
He did not address the most important pressing issue in our country. Yet he said he wasn't a winner, and then he called Lincoln Riley. He's that old uncle, that old grandpa that just gets angry, shows a pen. It's like, because his whole speech was scripted to the T.
Yeah.
You got to do this, you got to do that. And then he went off script and he had a horrible moment. Lincoln Riley's parents were asked by the Biden administration to come to the speech last night.
Mhm.
They said, screw you.
Yeah.
Absolutely screw you. Her blood is on Biden's hands.
Yes.
Because of his policies.
Not just hers.
Over the last there's many more.
Thousands of
She
people.
was the most recent, very popular story that went viral because of how she was savagely beaten, murdered by an illegal who was actually arrested in New York City and should have been deported via ICE. But because New York was a sanctuary city and Joe Biden's policies did not allow ICE to go in and take them, he was allowed to move on. It should have never happened.
Yeah.
And of course, he killed Laken Riley, not the University of Southern California football coach, Lincoln Riley.
Yes.
I mean, you have dumbass Democrats. I'm like, oh my God, they're just trying to bypass everything.
Yeah.
He made it through. He
Yeah.
didn't collapse
Yeah.
because the bar was set so
Yeah.
low for an old, feeble, weak man. They said, Joe, you got to show energy. So he showed anger. I'm alive.
Well, that's his fallback. His fallback position is not like a coach. His fallback position is frustrated and angry, and nobody there's no resonance to that. Nobody resonates to a crotchety old man. Get off my lawn, kids. Nobody
That's
nobody
right.
does
Nobody.
that. So but it's just unbelievable to me that people let him get away with these weird lies. My thing with immigration and him has always been this. It's kind of like people who are like, what's going on with the border? Ever seen that show, Paranormal Caught on Camera? Have you ever seen that show?
Where are you going?
I'm
with this
going
one?
somewhere with this. Just hold on. And it's like these it's like we have video of a UFO in the sky. And you're always like, that's a freaking UFO or whatever it is. They will not fess up to why they're doing what they're doing. If they would just say, look, guys, I'm going to be the most transparent president on the planet. My name is Joe Biden. I'll try to say this without yelling at you. We want to bring people in the country so that our demographic will grow and the censuses will grow in these areas. They'll get more money. We'll have more cheap labor. We will be able to be in power longer because we understand that our leftist ideology is not working out very well with the guys in St. Charles, Missouri.
You know what else it does by bringing all the people in? We were talking about this yesterday outside of the show. It increases population. Illegals are counted as well. So those states, those areas get more House seats.
Yeah.
And when you have more House seats, you can do more in Congress.
Exactly.
And you can
get more money.
narrative, and it doesn't matter who president is.
I saw an illegal family the other night
At a PRL show?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
at a Marshall's.
Okay.
Really?
And one thing
How do you know they were illegal?
Oh, come on.
Come on, you know.
They didn't speak any English. They were walking around with their little kid. It was a dad, a mom, but the mom looked like she was 9 months pregnant.
Mhm.
And I'm going, damn.
Yeah.
They came across the brush, walking all that way illegal,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking the dynamic of these people to take on that journey,
Mhm.
no matter where they were in South America, to take that risk to come here
Mhm.
because they know something. They've got
They
debit
do.
cards with cash on
Yep.
it. These people are not living in St. Peters, Missouri with no money.
Correct. They got
With a
themselves
full
an
family.
anchor baby. They got
Right.
an anchor baby now.
So there are also parts.
Lindsay says they live in O'Fallon with money now.
They do. They
No,
do live
she's
in
right,
O'Fallon.
dude. She's right.
And I've been screaming it. And Eric, yesterday we talked about, I've been screaming to the rooftops. They are all over O'Fallon, Missouri. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not talking about one or two. We're talking mass thousands of them. And yesterday it came out that a boy from O'Fallon was killed in St. Louis by an illegal. And it turns out that illegal was Venezuelan. I
Yeah.
didn't say that yesterday.
Well,
Venezuelan.
I am a Christian. I do believe all people are people, and I do
Me
believe
too.
that. I
Thanks
do
for
believe
the
the
picture,
United.
Joe.
I do believe the United States is a
That's
place.
Travis, by the way.
Travis.
Sorry to interrupt you, Eric.
No,
I'm
it's
showing
fine. It's fine.
Travis.
But I do believe people should aspire to come here. But I also
Mhm.
think people should aspire to go to the movies. And if they bum rush the door and they get in illegally, they should be kicked out and go buy a ticket.
Boom. That's exactly right.
Do it right.
Do
You
it
want to
right.
go to the Taylor Swift concert? Don't smash through the gate with a car and then
Mhm.
run in.
Well,
Buy a
Megan-
ticket, go get a seat. And
Yep.
I mean, it's
So
the same
Megan
with the
says-
country.
So Megan says, I guess you're not going to be one of the families that brings in an illegal into your home and takes care of them as they're asking people in Chicago, New York, Boston, and Denver.
This is a bad idea all around.
Mhm.
Yes,
This is a bad idea all around.
I mean,
okay?
so Biden, he totally blundered the most important issue in the country, barely addressed it when he didn't come up with anything.
Yeah.
Then, on top of the other horrible things that we've shown you from this old man proof of life speech, listen, what the hell was he saying here? Once again, I counted at least 15 to 16 mumble jumble and it's like he has to get the engine running, and then it runs for a little bit, and then it stops. It's like that old class. It runs for a little bit, and then it stops.
Yeah.
You keep it going. What the hell did he say here? Listen to this. God, this man is just a nut job.
Because I invested in family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about this than anybody I know. We're better able to stay in the family for the.
Can you repeat that?
Give me five. Sold. Number 3.
In family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows.
Next on deck is Bessie.
In family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about this than anybody I know.
Oh my God.
It sounds like an auctioneer.
It does. It does.
Because I invested in family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about this than anybody I know.
Sold another one.
Look at Mike Johnson looking at him.
Mike Johnson was priceless last night.
He was dead on.
Oh.
Just the subtleties of the what the hell. It was perfect.
It was. His looks was, and a couple times I look over and he's got his eyes closed and he's just shaking his
Oh
head
my
like,
God!
What
What a great time to bring in Mark Kasen, who from Cardinal Ritter Prep of this high school, and Mark.
He doesn't look happy.
And he shouldn't be happy, but
yeah, your guy is embarrassing.
but Democrats have to cling to something because he didn't pass out during his speech, which was good.
Yeah, he didn't pass out.
Hey, Mark, did you hear the soundbite we just ran by chance, buddy?
Well, I did.
And
the only thing
what was he saying?
Well,
he
he was easily understood, but there's no question that he does sometimes slur some words, and that is because he is famously a stutterer, and from the
here we go
time
with the
stuttering, he's been fighting against this. Everybody knows it, and I can't believe that you guys are holding on to this as
We're not.
thing.
This is just for fun. This is just the fun stuff. We're not even into the serious stuff. This is just, oh my God, this is the guy we elected out of 350 million people. That's all we're doing. That's all that is.
Allegedly elected. Hey, Mark, did your class have an assignment to watch the speech last night?
Yes, I have some people here.
Yeah.
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Welcome in to cancel this.
I love students.
Who's right behind you? Who's that right behind you?
But let me say this, guys.
Okay, sorry.
And I'll say all my junk tonight, but let me say this much. I'm surprised that you're not playing the part where he said that Ronald Reagan said,
here we go,
tear down this wall, and Donald Trump says to Putin, come in and do whatever the hell you want. And I can't believe
that's not really what he said. I think that's out of context a little bit. That's out of context.
Why aren't you shocked?
But we don't. I mean, if you want to talk about Ukraine, that's what got your ire was the Ukraine comments last night. Every Democrat I know always brings up Ronald Reagan because I don't know what the.
And he didn't say that, by the way.
No, that was completely out of context.
Yeah, he actually did not say that.
Well, who do we have on the show with us today? What are you talking about, Mark? We love to.
Wait. So you're just throwing that one away. Okay.
No, because Mark. Hold on. Ukraine's fine, and so is France and Russia. I would like him to talk about inflation and the border, and how about some domestic issues like potholes that are all over our highways. And let's just talk about that.
I'm happy to do all that.
I don't care to talk the first thing out of. Hold on, Mark. Hold on. Let's not talk somewhere halfway around the world, which they want us to pay $350 billion to, which is not trackable. Let's talk about our border first, shall we?
Yeah. Well, you sound like Charles Lindbergh in 1941, but
I am a pilot. That's the only similarities. That's the only similarities. Okay. No, let's not talk foreign policy first. Let's talk about what's in our backyard. Let's do that first.
You notice that he did start with foreign policy. It was the first thing he started with.
No, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
In the border.
Yeah, it's like bringing out the cheesecake whenever you go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse first. You want to bring out the steak first and talk about what people are actually it's important in their lives. I'm very interested to know what your students think about this. I mean, you can take it from a high level view if you want to. What were the things that, first of all, Mark, what were the things that you liked about Biden's speech last night. What were the things that that's it?
You mean besides everything?
No, besides, be specific. Be specific. Well, just give me some. Go. Let anything.
So on the border,
yeah,
I love the way he explained that the Democrats caved into the Republicans, and then the Republicans refused to accept the deal because they're trying to save Donald Trump.
Mark,
so
hold on.
No, that's not what happened.
Can I just allow me to have a little ping pong match with you right now?
Right ahead.
Let me just ask you this high level question. If we have secure borders, is it cool that the United States allows nobody in this country illegally? You must come in through legal channels. If we could do that in a perfect world, would you like that? Would that be acceptable to you?
Well, you got to remember how far on the left I am. So here's the thing. No, would not be acceptable. Here's what I want.
Wow.
Here's what I want. And I'm going to help you here. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want everybody to be allowed to come in legally.
Okay.
Have them processed
legally. You just
at the
said
border.
legally. I love it.
Huh?
You just said legally.
Make everything legal. Just say it's legal. Come on in. Bring everybody in.
Do you have what's the address to your house? I would love to come over.
Send him over.
No, wait a second. I'm going to help you here.
Did you bathe in Coldwater Creek, Mark?
Listen.
No, of course he didn't.
We're going to process all these people.
Yes.
Hey, we're going to process all these people.
Yes.
So we know who's here.
And
we're going to send 1 million high school students, graduates.
Yeah.
But in between going to high school or college, we're going to send them down there like the Peace Corps. They're going to teach them English. They're going to teach them how to get jobs. They're going to get them Social Security cards.
What F are you talking about?
Everybody's coming.
Do you understand that cause and effect? Do you know what cause and effect is? If you do A, B is going to happen. Do you understand that letting 1 million people into the St. Louis region is only going to affect your students in the ability to get a job, in the ability to get housing, in the ability to not live in an overcrowded situation? You do understand cause and effect, right?
Let me say this. My grandparents came here in 1900. They came here
through Ellis Island. They came. Hold on. They came here. Stop. Take a breath. Take a breath. They came here. They came here through. Hold on.
I hope you're okay because I'm taking your job.
Hold on.
I'm an immigrant.
Hold on.
And I'm gonna get your job.
They came here. Stop. Take a breath. They came here through a logical progression. They came here through Ellis Island. They came here. They signed a book. They became a part of the story of America. They weren't running through the brush.
They were documented.
They were documented. They did it legally. I applaud them. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad your family's here. We can agree on a lot of stuff. What we're not going to agree on is just opening up the spigot and flooding the United States with things that we don't know how we're going to pay for. We don't know how we're going to house. We are destroying blue cities. We're destroying them. Chicago can't even exist anymore.
I'm telling you, the Peace Corps, which is my
the Peace Corps. Well, this is not 1960.
I want to hear from your students.
Yeah, we're going to send them down there. But only one thing. I'm sorry, I am taking your job, and I'm an immigrant. So,
Mark,
a legal immigrant or an illegal immigrant?
Mark, let's hear from your students.
I'm legal.
Your students.
Okay, here we go.
I love it,
guys. And by the way, let me tell you who I've got here right now.
Yes,
the students that you're looking at right now are actually very special.
Okay,
because they are part of what I call my advisory group.
Okay.
They meet with me all the time in order to help me be a better teacher by telling me, what they think of all different kinds of things that either I'm doing or things that are going on at the school.
Right.
And
I need to join that advisory board.
When can I be there?
So this is a great group of students. They've been my advisory group for a year. And now the others I have up here are also great. But these have really spent time working with me.
Very good.
Because they are advising me.
Okay.
Let's ask it. Well, so hi guys. How are you guys doing? You look like a very handsome group. Let me ask you this: Did you watch the State of the Union last night? And what did you take away from it? Just you can start in any order you want to.
Yeah, go ahead, Mariah.
You can lead
Yeah,
it.
you don't need any notes. Go ahead.
Well, while we were watching it, we also had a group chat and we were texting each other, and we liked how he talked about women should have more rights in the country. That was the main thing for
Okay, let me back up. I didn't hear that. Who has more rights? Women or
women? Yes,
women rights. So that was important to you. Okay,
yeah, but the women rights was about abortion.
yes.
So abortion is an important topic for you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But wait a second, guys. See, you're sort of stretching this thing.
No,
because the issue is not abortion. The issue is women's health care.
I thought we were talking to her, not you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Okay. Let your
well, come on. I mean,
let your board of directors speak.
Be fair. Be fair.
Okay, let's go next. Next, what's your name?
My biggest takeaway was him talking about expanding education and making college more affordable and giving public teachers a raise.
Public teachers.
No, that's great. I just didn't understand. He said it, and my only problem is that I heard a lot of things last night from the president with no plans. It sounds sweet to the ears. Yeah, it's not going to cost anything. Well, nothing's free. I just didn't know how he would do. It sounded good to me too.
Let me
I
respond.
didn't know how he was going to do that.
Let me respond to what he said because I want to be in agreement more than I want to not be in agreement.
Yeah.
I agree 1,000,000% with you. Part of the problem is these colleges right now are overinflating themselves and sometimes charging thousands of times more in tuition, room and board, and the colleges themselves are making it unaffordable for you to go to college. So I don't think the government should do anything. I think it should be more of these colleges bringing their prices down. So me and you are in agreement on that one. And let's go to the next one. What's your name?
My name is Tanaya, and what I took away from what he said was when he started talking about making middle class, poor class, and wealthy class in the same level, which was one of my biggest takeaways.
Yeah, making the rich pay their fair share.
Yeah.
Could not agree with you more. I think that everybody has an opportunity. You three are going to be successful. I can tell already.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody has the opportunity
they're willing
to succeed.
To stand in front of a camera in front of the class. Of course, they're going to be successful.
Exactly. But I want to warn you guys. Let me say that. I want to warn all three of you guys. Do not listen to anybody that is trying to divide you. The middle class, upper class, lower class, that is a bull crap thing. You can be anything you want to be. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes dedication. It takes a roadmap. But I believe in every single one of you guys. You guys can make it. Don't be divided by what's going on in our government at all.
And what he means too is don't ever take the form of a victim because you can accomplish whatever you want. I'm curious, will any of the three of you be of voting age when the election rolls around?
Yes.
Next year.
Okay, cool.
For those, so would you vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and why?
That's a tricky question.
No. You're not held to it.
Okay.
Well, and I like.
I think right now it's too early to decide. Yeah, I would have to do more research and listen to what both parties would talk about for me.
That
is fair.
That's. I love your answer.
Yay!
I love
Perfect answer.
I love it.
I love it. They want to research. They want to find
I
out.
want you to know that I will beat them.
No, you won't beat them. You won't beat anything.
You won't beat anybody. These are smart, intelligent.
Have you seen
people.
how big Vic Faust is?
No, I know what Mark. No, I'm going to be nice. I know what Mark's going to. Never mind.
Now, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: something that might have been on the other side of the fence. Do you like what's going on in immigration right now? That's a big topic in the country right now. We'll start there, and you guys can go one after another. Do you like having communities? Maybe what you see in Chicago and in New York. Would you like to see us maybe tap that down and get in control of our immigration policy?
I feel like we should take down on it, but I feel like some procedures that we do are a little harsh, is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with her. It is sometimes the measures do go a little bit extreme, and we could turn it down a little bit more though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's great. I appreciate you guys jumping in. By the way, for our viewers and listeners who are coming on, we're talking live with Dr. Mark Kasen's classroom at Cardinal Ritter High School Prep. Terrific school, super, super smart kids, very disciplined, oriented school there, not only in the classroom, but on the fields as well. Just talking about the speech last night and what they got out of it in the class today. And we got to give Mark a compliment, believe it or not, because my God, if he's partly responsible for how intelligent these kids speak and come across and formulate ideas, he gets some credit. Damn, Mark, I'm giving you a compliment.
But he's
right
programming.
Yeah. Well, be careful with that because the research shows that 80% of what any child is comes from their home.
It's true.
That's just the research.
That's right.
So they have great homes, is what.
Very good.
I mean, they come here and they hear a little craziness from Kasen, and that's okay. But see, you asked a bad question. Why don't you ask them a better question?
You ask them.
Would you be willing? And I've never asked them this. Would you be willing to do what Kasen has suggested, which is, would you go down to the border in order to mentor people coming across the border? Yeah, keep doing. Yeah, look here. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
I remember. It was the same what all the hippies used to do back in the 60s. You don't have to do that.
Mark is a former hippie.
You probably listened to a Jefferson Airplane going down there, the Beatles, maybe had a little bit of pot and wouldn't try to help people in wherever country you're in, which is fine. I did some weird stuff in my day myself. Let me ask you this. Are you now? I know Mark is a good teacher. Hold on.
I want to hear him talk.
I know Mark is a good teacher, and he probably taught you about economics. You probably know that Joe Biden just threw $6 trillion at the economy cash, which brought all the interest rates up. It brought all of your food prices up. Would you like to see a president who might be able to control that a little bit better with bringing taxes down by controlling inflation? Would you like to see that in your life?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I want to know if they'll go to the border, Eric. That was the question.
That's what you want to see? Oh,
no. What do you guys feel about that? Mark's idea. Mark asked the question.
I was actually in the class when he first introduced the idea, and I actually kind of agreed that we could, because I feel like us freshly being 18, around the same age as some of the people around that's at the border, we could closely relate and build a connection with them, and also make money while doing it.
Any way you can help, I like. I'm not against that at all.
And make money while they're doing it, is what he said. So he's a smart entrepreneur. He wants to go out and help, but he wants to make money.
I think people like that are definitely necessary and needed for sure. Because if we're just going to have people flooding in, there's got to be at least somebody trying to vet these people.
The point is that we should not have people flooding in. That's the point, is that we need.
No, I agree with that. But I mean, like, while it's open, there definitely needs some people. There needs some guide. They need some guidance down there.
Okay. Well, Lizzie, ask a question from a female's perspective.
Okay. I see 3 young people here, and I guess you're probably not young to you because you guys are close to 18. And I see 3 very smart, sensible people who I definitely feel are going to go very far. And the biggest thing that I've already taken away from this is you're hearing 2 different perspectives and you're still not falling for either one. You said that you don't know who you're going to vote for yet because you're going to research. And I think that's very great. In the meantime, can each one of you tell us what career would you like to have when you leave high school or college?
I like that.
The career that I want to pursue is nursing.
Good for you.
Yes. Very nice.
Also going into the medical field.
Medical? Okay.
And I've been looking into psychology.
I love it.
It is great. It's fun to talk with the kids too. I mean,
it is.
And you guys live in St. Louis, in St. Louis City, I'm assuming. I know kids can come to Cardinal Ritter from wherever, a great private school there in the city. I'm just curious, you don't seem to allow the politics to sway you one way or the other, at least right now, at least on the show. Do you see mixed messages, or do you feel as if you grew up in your city, you're African-American young people who are growing, you're coming of age at that standpoint? Do you feel as if there's a lot of messages that out there that try to divide white and black? Racism gets thrown in all over the place. Do you feel that tries to affect your school, your city, your community?
Absolutely.
How so?
One of the most recent things I remember Kasen talking about was in St. Charles, when they were banning many books written by black people.
I don't know that I would love to see what that is. I've never heard of that.
Are you talking about the Francis Howell curriculum change? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Black history.
Yeah, and there's yes, there's been some of that in Wentzville, and there has been some of that in Francis Howell, and there's two different point of view on that. I'm not as big on worrying about that because I come from a very multiracial family, and I understand both points of view. The only really quote book banning that really should be going on is you just don't put sexually explicit books in a first grader's hand. So I understand what you're saying about that as well. And I know that my children who are multiracial and are from different backgrounds, they say to me that this division isn't even amongst people, and it's adults that are trying to cause division. What do you guys say about that?
Can you ask the question one more time for me? I'm sorry.
Yes. Do you as high schoolers feel that the division is coming from people your own age in race relations, or do you think adults are pushing that on you?
I feel like it's a mixture of both, is what I would say.
A mixture of both.
Yeah, I do believe it is kind of a mixture of both. Some people say that most things that people learn, like Kasen said, start from at home, which start with their parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
It always starts with the parent. Everything that we talk about there's no one in this room that wants these communities and all of us to come together and be tight than this group of people right here. We're trying to always try to figure out what's going on, what's happening in St. Louis, what's happening in St. Charles. And it seems like you guys are the same. We are asking questions. I got one question I have for you. St. Louis, to me, you weren't here back then, but 30 years ago, St. Louis was a very safe, prosperous place. What do you feel like your leadership is doing right now to help maybe bring that St. Louis kind of back from the brink of just making it a safe place to live, a place that is very prosperous? What do you think your local leadership?
Great question. And before we die, I wanted to give a shout out to Zaya. She asked us to say hi.
I've been seeing a bunch more police officers patrolling a lot. I've been seeing a lot of buildings inside within the city being broken down and rebuilt. Yeah.
Good. So you see it. I've always thought that the people of St. Louis would be the people that took care of St. Louis. Do you feel good about the direction of crime going down in your communities, companies coming back and bringing prosperity to you? Do you like what's going on in St. Louis?
Absolutely. Yes, Casey asked a question in class and said, he asked us, do we think crime rates are going up or down? And I actually thought crime was going up, and then he pulled up a chart, and crime rates are actually going down within the country.
Okay.
That is Dr. Kasen.
He's hiding under the desk right now. So listen, yeah, we could talk about that, but what I wanted to also say to you is you'll notice that they have a radical leftist college professor teaching them, and they're fine. It doesn't even hurt them.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I gave you a compliment. I'm surprised. It's good. You should keep your job.
You're super smart. I'm just saying this. And one thing with education,
the crime rate, by the way, isn't a 50-year low, but okay.
No,
okay,
it's not. It's a definition of crime.
Mark.
And the stats have been fudged in St. Louis City. Let's be honest.
Dr. Kasen.
First of all, I'm talking about nationally. And secondly, St. Louis, here are the numbers. Internationally, St. Louis is number 29 out of all the cities in the world, and it's right next to San Francisco, which is also a fairly safe place.
Why can't we all I want to be in a world where we agree to agree. Let's aspire to make St. Louis the most safe place in the United States to live, instead of being the number one most dangerous place on a lot of charts. And I guess we can agree on that. And I don't want to listen to positive information and go, oh no, you're lying. I want St. Louis. Do you remember, Dr. Kasen, back in the 80s?
We saw St. Louis was top 6 in the world for most dangerous.
You remember back in the the 80s, you would go to the VP fair and watch
Mark,
the fire.
by the way.
Okay, Mark, you remember when we would walk down from Market Street all the way to the VP fair, completely safe, walk back at 11 o'clock at night with no worries of being harassed, jumped, mugged, or whatever. We got to get back St. Louis back to that, don't you think?
Well, I hate to tell you this,
Uh-oh,
because you're all going to fall down under your desks up there.
well, be truthful.
But I'm telling you, I have walked out of Vashon High School
Okay.
at 6:30 in the evening.
Okay.
Walked down the street because I was going down to get the metro. I was going to walk to get the metro, which is a pretty long walk. Okay, and when I did that, I was approached by numerous people on the street.
Okay.
Who said they didn't know who I was. Basically, they said, "Mr. White Man, you need to be careful out here.
Okay.
Let us help you get where you're going.
I love it.
Because we don't want you to get hurt."
Why?
My point is, you don't realize how good people are.
Yeah, the majority of people are.
That is not what I'm saying at
you're
all.
Forgetting about the criminals.
Yeah.
It only
think
takes
everybody's
one.
a criminal.
No, not everybody, but we have criminals everywhere.
Mark, I've had 3 cars with windshields smashed in at a place called what's the name of that place?
The Foundry.
The Foundry.
The Foundry.
And also at the Armory.
Yes.
I don't get that feeling when I go to
You're
Walmart.
right. They
in St.
also do
Charles.
that at Forest Park, but you don't know who does it.
Forest
It
Park
could
is
be
very
one-
close to St. Louis.
It could be a couple of kids.
What
It
I'm
could be a couple of kids
Well,
out there.
what
doing
probably
it
is
while
kids.
everybody else.
Well,
is
why
doing
does
the
that
right
not?
thing.
Why does that not happen to Scale in Chesterfield and Ladue and St. Charles? And we're not bad people for asking the pertinent questions. We're not, Mark. We want to come to St. Louis and be safe. We want to go to the malls and to the shops in St. Louis. We love St. Louis. All I'm asking you, and I love that your kids said, I feel safe. We want it to be safe as it can be. And that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. We want St. Louis to be good for them as well. And when we ask the questions of how do you see it getting from point A to point B, I would imagine you think that Kim Gardner being dismissed and then the prosecution that happened yesterday with the girl that lost her legs, you would think that that's a good thing, correct? That's just the prosecutor's office, right? You like Kim Gardner being in that position?
Let me say this. I know some people in the prosecutor's office, and I know a good deal about.
But yesterday was a good day for the day for the prosecutor's office, right?
I mean, it's good to prosecute people who commit crimes like Donald Trump and put them in jail. I agree.
Why?
Well, and those are good questions, Eric, because I have 2 children that live in the city, and one is married and one is a single female, and they love the city, and I love going there. I absolutely love it. And where they live, I don't see a whole lot of crime. That being said, it's the statistics I know are skewed because St. Louis City is smaller, so it makes our statistics look like crime is bigger than it really is. But the fact is, there is crime there. But I have to give kudos. Sometimes I bash the millennials on our show that sometimes they haven't woke up to being an adult yet, but they're the ones that are going in the city. And maybe it would be your students as well that are going to do the good things that maybe a generation before us or my generation has allowed the city to go down. I see great pluses in our youth right now. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. Mark, turn around.
Well, by the way, I want you guys to give special credit to Michelle Wazowski, who wrote in, because she is perfect. She's 100% accurate because she described me as a nut job.
No, you're not. Right. You're like my uncle. You're like my progressive uncle.
By the way, for our listeners, and Mark has a bunch of people on his show. He does a show out of our studio, Renew Media Group, every day now, Monday through Friday, from 4 to 5 p.m. It's called The Showdown. So if you know people that are like-minded, you can certainly have them check that out. And, and he doesn't just have like-minded people. He had Eric Greitens on this last week, and he's had Jamila on. So, Mark is doing a lot of those things.
Well, and that's what I like about Mark is there's so many people that if they're on different side of the political spectrums, they make fun of each other and they don't talk to each other.
Well, Mark and I both know that Mark, I think he's insane. He thinks that I've lost my mind or uneducated.
Well, here, you got another really good one here too. Pam correctly says I'm delusional, which I am. I'm delusional. I enjoy being delusional.
So am I. So it's
we're all delusional.
So we did the common denominator just cancel each other out.
Let me remind you, the last show that when we did one like this, and I had on one of my teachers, Walter Hood, who is currently a resident of East St. Louis.
Yeah.
And you asked him, and he told you that he feels extremely safe in East St. Louis.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Fair enough. Hey, by the way, your male student behind you was talking to you. Did you guys want to talk about something specifically, or?
Yeah, he really wanted me to ask you, but so I'll ask you, and then he can get in too. No, do you want to tell him? Go ahead.
I just want to know you guys' opinion on Biden last night saying you can't only love your country when you win.
That you can't what?
You can't only love your country when you win.
So that you can't love your country.
No, you can't love our country. Hold on, let me respond. You can't only love your country when you win. I totally
You mean
agree.
from an election?
I agree with
from
that.
an election standpoint?
Talking about Trump.
He's talking about that's what he's talking about, and that's the whole point. That's why we watch the Super Bowl. We can't.
Good question.
We're not
going
going
to break it down. Great question.
It's the truth. The problem is that government, in our opinion, a conservative's opinion, the government should be there to fix potholes. It should have a good military so no one attacks us. The government should
start with a strong border.
Yeah, the government should be kind of out of the way. The problem with government right now, I can't even believe we're talking about government with you guys, is that it's so in our face. It's unbelievable. And I agree with you. You shouldn't hate the country. I love the country.
Me too.
I love the country more than I love anything else on the planet Earth.
Me too.
The problem is that when you have someone who's trying to drive the bus over a cliff and the other guy's not trying to drive the bus over a cliff, someone who's trying to change the country and someone who's not trying to change the country, that's where the problems lay. Let me ask you guys this. You guys, can you turn around and take a poll? Who is interested in voting for Trump in this next election? And if no one raises their hand, that's fine.
Nobody's going to answer. We already asked them.
No, if you, nobody in that.
Eric, nobody's going to say it.
They're saying no.
We already had three. Tell us.
I just want, hey guys, I want to tell you one more thing about my students here.
Yeah.
It just so happens that these three are interested in starting a podcast.
Oh, I love it.
Well, they're in the right place, aren't they?
They would be great.
They would be fantastic. They would be great.
I would love to see them have a podcast.
So what I might do sometime is just set up a little meeting where they can meet with you guys just to get input.
Why don't you let them do the first? Let them do the first 10 minutes of your show.
Mark,
they can be your warm-up group every day.
Mark, I would sit down and I'd catch up with them and
I know that. In fact, we could meet at Wendy's. But go ahead.
Yes, I would love them. And I would like to say that on our YouTube, and we've been down on YouTube for a little bit, and it came back up yesterday. And I always think, and I can say this to you guys because you're at a Christian Catholic school, everything happens for a reason. And our YouTube is up today. And I really do believe it's up because our YouTube is full of people who love you guys, that are people that maybe are in your class, and they're saying that they love some of us too. And there's diverse thought on here, and they're literally very proud of you. And I just am thrilled that you guys were on today. Yeah. It doesn't matter if we agree or we don't agree. This is our youth. It's powerful. You're getting the love of God. And I am so proud of you. And so are the people on our chat line, especially YouTube. And there's a Brandon on here that's saying wonderful things about you guys. And the list goes on. And I'm very proud of you. And I would love to see you on a podcast.
And another thing, give your teacher a round of applause because a teacher that has that much passion, no matter what they are subscribing to, is a teacher you will remember forever, and they will get you to where you want to go. So good job, Mark.
Hey, and by the way, too, I just want to remind you,
were you talking about
I'm talking about you. Yeah,
oh
well,
God,
I know that you have a seance to him every night to talk to Karl Marx.
But before
you sit in the middle of the pentagram, but go ahead.
What about the other thing? I agree with this though. Whatever you do, and I don't care if it's buying a car, buying a house, deciding who you're voting for. Do your research, do your research, do your research. Don't look at media headlines. Don't trust something just because you hear it on TV, you see it on the internet, or you hear it on TikTok or Instagram. Do your research. That comes from me, and it comes from our chat line as well.
Yes.
Educate yourselves over and over and over again, which is what you're learning already.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree.
Mark, anything else you or the class want to say before we let you go today?
Yeah, make it smart.
No, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys for, talking with these great young people. And there are a whole bunch of great young people in this classroom too. They're a little younger, and so they're a little shy at the moment, but they'll get like these guys too. That's the key. And I do tell the kids that it's so important to find evidence for everything you believe. Everything.
Yes.
You must have evidence. Don't agree with me. Don't agree with Vic. Don't agree with me. Find evidence and use your evidence to develop your own ideas. And that's what's most important. So you see, as a result, I don't have a bunch of Marxist kids up here just because I'm crazy.
You got enough time to finish the deal.
Smart kids. They have their own thoughts.
I hear you, man. That's cool. I love it.
Well, we love you guys. Mark, hey, Cardinal Ritter class, thanks for taking time with us today. We appreciate you guys.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Way to get in front of it. We'll have you back on if you need any help from a podcast standpoint. We'll do that as well. We'll talk. We'll try to see where we can go from there. But have a great weekend. And Mark, we'll talk to you later. Showdown today, once again, 4:00. Did you want to promote anything specific on the show today? Anything specific on the show today you want to talk about?
Just delusional. That's all.
You'll be fawning over Biden, right?
At 4:00.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you, Mark. See you, Riddle. See you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just beautiful.
Guys.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much.
All right. Mark Kasen and his class at Cardinal Ritter High School Prep.
And this is actually, as much as we make fun of Mark in fun, I appreciate that he was willing to bring his class on, because this is the only way we reach people. And I know a lot of people, they love division and they think that's the only way that we can get anything done. And I don't think that, because the division happens in politics, and I get it. You need to be divided in your politics, but as our everyday life with our youth, we have to let them speak. We have to let them know what they're saying. And this is a rare thing that ever happens, that a Democrat teacher is willing to bring their kids. And on the YouTube chat line, there was people saying that they would vote for Trump. They just can't say it in that class. They can't say it in there.
By the way, if you look right now, the top 10 most dangerous cities in America, St. Louis is number 1. I'm sorry. We have to give facts. It is what it is. And we can't hide them, and it's a problem. And St. Louis City is suffering from crime. They're 300 officers short. And you can't lie. It's happening. The crime stats were not being reported correctly. They finally reported stats for the first time in 3 years correctly the other day, and you still have organizations saying they're not reporting them correctly. We know for a fact there's crime. We know for a fact that there's issues. If there wasn't, you would have businesses going into St. Louis City, and we don't have that right now. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's almost the stats that you don't see.
But it's getting better. It takes time. It starts with the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
And Gabe Gore is doing a phenomenal job.
Yes,
but it takes forever to dig out of the hole.
Let's get through a whole season of Cardinal baseball without one carjacking.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be great?
If that's the case, then we can start from there. How's that? Small little victories.
Yeah, that would be nice. Kelly Manno coming up. Give a shout out to our advertiser sponsors right now. Let's start with Winty's, because we were just talking about it. We'll do a spot over there. The original food shack of the Gumbo Flats. Best pizza, burgers, wings, and smoked meats served in their saloon or their outdoor patio. Fun, terrific place, of course. Ben and crew will greet you at the door. You have a great time. WeQuip USA, the peer-to-peer rental marketplace where renters can go to search for items they need that their neighbors might not have. You literally go to their website and you can rent items that you don't own. And if you have some items you think other people might want to rent, you can do that. There's insurance as well. And it's all in your neighborhood. Plus, if you need spaces, they rent rooms. They rent spaces as well. It's a very cool deal what they have going on there. Route 66 Cannabis. It is your fast lane to the Midwest premier cannabis shopping experience. 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, including their newest store in De Pere, 270 in Manchester. They also have the Ostara line and the Cubana line, super popular products. They're not just sold at Route 66. They're sold at locations all across the state. Ham and crew doing a phenomenal job there. By the way, as we say, this last week, $1.1 billion sold in Missouri. It is becoming the capital of weed for whatever reason. Experienced Real Estate Partners, New American Mortgage, funded by or powered by Square Mortgage, and New Age Health and Wellness. They're taking care of business there. Kathy Hobig Strick, Steve Strick, expect to be moved. 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD, and Amini's, your leading supplier in traditional and infrared saunas and saltwater hot tubs. Check out their furniture, check out their gaming, and of course the saunas, which are what helping people live longer, their blood flow, and their heart. And there's all scientific evidence to back it. This is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Projo in the house, and our friend Kelly Manno getting all set up. She's coming into the show. Kelly
it's
is
not a good hair day.
in. I hate when it happens.
I know, right? Like I can't.
Did you wash it this morning?
Yes, and that's why it's just not laying right. So
okay. Did you dry it, or are you wet drying it?
It's half and half. It's half and half.
Did you get new hair?
No, it's the same.
Oh,
but it is true. Dirty hair curls better. It does. Lays better. Yeah. The first day that you have clean hair for a female, it's usually frizzier. Yeah.
And
I get that.
I see what you're saying. So you like the curls better than the dirty stuff comes in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Like, subscribe, share the show. We're here Monday through Friday, of course, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. It's Friday. It's free for all. We have some fun. We were pretty serious in the first hour, as we know, with all the politics going on. Eric will be back. He's just getting coffee. Yeah, He's allowed to do that.
People are.
That's Kelly. I was looking for that. Where was that?
You left it here.
You left it here on Tuesday. Eric's here. He was just getting coffee. People are wondering where you went. They were going to be sad if you were gone.
Can you show that? What?
Yeah, show that.
I walked in yesterday and saw that. I was like, what the hell?
It's a phone stand.
It's a blingy bougie phone stand.
Everything I own is blingy. So if you find anything with like sparkles, it's mine.
Sparkles.
All right. Kelly, I missed, by the way, our social media superstar. You can catch out Kelly Manno if you're new to the show. All social media platforms at Kelly Manno. Yep. I think you have a couple followers or two.
I do. I have a couple.
3. Just a few.
Couple.
And they go, I find it interesting when you go live. You have people that jump in immediately, don't you?
Yeah, but like immediately, like hundreds.
Kelly was doing, you were promoting your show.
Yes.
You also have the Kelly Manno show on YouTube. People can catch those episodes, all of your content. Literally, she's talking before she's going. I'm like, damn, she's got like hundreds of people. She goes, clicks a button.
Yes.
And people show up.
So I clicked the button, and then it was funny because I was talking to my followers, telling them I was getting ready to be on the air, and Vic walked by in the background, and like 4 girls were like, "Who is that handsome man walking
That's
by?"
right.
It's Photo Joe.
That's right.
That's right.
They like big asses.
So
that big ass ham.
Yeah. So Vic had to come be in my life for a minute, and a lot of the girls that follow me like just treat men like meat, like I do, and so they had fun with him.
Who are the other guys on your show?
Hoss is the only guy, and my friend Stephanie. She's not in radio. You wouldn't know her from radio.
How'd you get them involved in that?
So I met Hoss in radio back in 1998.
Okay.
And we were like instant friends. I'm 5 foot tall. He's 7 foot tall. It looks like he's kidnapping me anytime we hang out.
Yeah.
But we've just stayed in touch over the years. And he's currently doing mornings at Kasen. And him and he's like the male version of me. Like if I ever get hit by a bus, I need somebody to go straight to my phone and delete everything you see that me and Hoss have ever spoken about.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like the friend that like I can say anything and he's not going to be offended.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like we can be like, oh my God, we're going to hell for this, but it's really funny.
And your camaraderie on the podcast is wonderful too. You can tell.
It's natural. It's very natural.
You can tell.
Well, I missed the outing last Saturday night.
Yeah, you did.
I had to wait a week. I guess you, Kelly, Lizzie, Eric combined on a somewhat of a date night situation type of deal at a PRL concert.
Oh, I forgot you weren't even here during the day last Friday.
No, I couldn't be here.
Yeah, he missed all
I missed
of
it all.
He missed it all.
So basically, I was giving my normal speech about how anytime I go out to like a bar or somewhere that nobody ever hits on me, nobody talks to me, like, and I have like some force field around me, right? And so then Lizzie was like, you're coming out with me Saturday night. We're going to go to Helen's. We're going to watch Eric's bar or watch Eric's band. Yes.
South County, St. Louis.
And she's like, I am going to teach you. Like, I'm going to observe what you're doing. And then I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong. And then I'm going to show you like how to behave like at these bars. And Eric's girlfriend, Christy, helped out too. And it was literally like a night-long science experiment. And it was absolutely like groundbreaking.
What were the takeaways, Lizzie? Come on.
Well, hang on. First of all, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Helen Fitzgerald's always have that vibe? Because
no.
It was so fun.
It's weird. It's band dependent.
Okay.
In that joint.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. It's like you have to be certain bands bring their own certain thing. And our certain thing, I don't know how to explain it, is just rambunctious off the wall, nutty people who are cool enough to meet. That's kind of why I thought you would be good out there.
I had so much fun.
Cool.
So I mean, honestly, like Lizzie took the lead on all this, and I don't know if she wants to start or if you want me to start. We had dinner first.
We did have dinner first.
And we met two other ladies that were like similar in our age, and we started talking with them. They became our friends for the night.
They did. And one person in particular seemed to get how to pick up guys. And
yes,
it's a meat market.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just say that right out of the bat.
It was a meat market for sure. The minute you walked in, you could tell the guys were looking at people to possibly pick up.
Okay. Everything's a meat market after 9 o'clock anywhere.
Yes, not all the time.
No. There are certain places you go to, right? That are not meat markety. This place.
Where?
Well, I feel like a lot of places are very cliquey. Like maybe they're meat markety, but they're within their own group at a table, and they're not conversing with other people. To where at Helen's, it was like everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And if I could just start for a moment, so we get there. I think Projo's got pictures. If you want to start, we've got, I think, the photo of
Well, Projo's going to put some pictures in.
Yep. So there we are. There's me and Lizzie and Christy. This was at the beginning of the night, the beginning of the experiment.
Oh, Christy is Eric's girlfriend.
Well, who else did you think it would be?
This is.
I'm letting our viewers know. Eric.
Okay.
So we finished eating, and we're trying to walk and go somewhere in the bar to sit down and listen to the music, and we don't make it literally 7 feet, and someone is hitting on Lizzie.
Boom!
I mean, hardcore. He's like, "Do I know you?"
Is that old guy with the gray hair right there?
No, there's another one.
Okay,
there's okay. And we could not make it 10 feet without Lizzie getting hit on. I'm not even kidding. Like, I was like the third wheel to like all these guys coming up to her. And obviously Lizzie is married. It was all very lighthearted and fun. And, but I haven't even sat down yet.
So let me just
She's having buttery nipples with her new friend, Scoot.
Excuse me? Let me just say this as you move forward. The beginning of a Helen Fitzgerald's night is usually us setting up and sound checking. That is the pregame for the meat marketers.
Apparently.
Okay?
Apparently so.
That's trying to soften up the meat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Go and proceed, because that's not where you meet the guys yet, but it is where the guys will come up and say, "Hey, if we hang out later tonight, don't be surprised."
Right. So it's like they were like making their notes.
Yes.
Okay. I like that one.
Yes.
I like that one. And then later on, I might really take her out. Okay.
You got the pre-meat market, and then you got the beer goggle meat market.
Oh, right. The beer goggle. We saw both. We saw both.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to find a chair, and we can't even make it there because so many people are hitting on Lizzie. I'm not exaggerating. She was stopped. I think a lot. Obviously, she's very beautiful, but there's something about blondes. There's something about blondes that everybody looks at. I've noticed that because I have another friend who's blonde, and it's just.
You want to try blonde? You could go blonde.
No.
Put a wig
Wait
on.
a minute.
No, I don't. No.
So you were taking that in. That's what you were noticing and going, okay, Lizzie, she's pretty, but it's the blonde hair.
And it was the way that she acted. Basically, I'm going to let Lizzie take over from here.
Oh, boy.
Because.
Okay, but here's the deal. People were thinking Kelly was pretty too. I agree. When I first walked in, they were doing the meat market thing.
Yeah.
But there were definitely people that thought Kelly was very cute and funny too. But it was her reaction. My reaction was different, maybe because I am married and I don't care. But I would look them right in the eye and have a conversation. So that draws them in.
And then slap them.
there was some slapping going on. There was for sure some
Hey,
slapping.
now.
There was some
Where you
slapping
slapping?
going on. But then Kelly, see if you have this picture, Joe, and if you don't, there's two guys that in particular liked her, but Kelly then acted shy and put her hands over her face.
What?
Like this.
Listen to me.
See?
This is your dude.
No, it's not. That's probably someone's boyfriend. I don't know. He was just super friendly.
Oh, that looks like your dude.
No,
Dude, you
Right, that was
like
her
a
guy.
guy.
that's soulmate sketch type
Right,
stuff.
right. But this is her reaction to him.
Well, here's why. So we get in, and Lizzie's like,
Okay.
you have to actually talk back to the boys because I'm not used to people touching me. So like, one guy like came over and like took my hand to like twirl me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you touching me?
Oh, see,
Okay?
you can't be like that.
Okay, I
Gotta put some oil on it.
listen.
See, and here's another one. She always put her hands to her face.
Because Lizzie was going up to random men
That's
and
what
going,
you do.
hey, that's my friend Kelly, and she likes guys with beards, and
I did do that.
And literally, she would like drag me over and start taking pictures with the guys, and I hadn't even talked to him yet.
That's what a wingman does.
That's what a wingman does.
Didn't you live in the 90s and the 80s?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It was like
That's what they did.
That's a good-looking guy right there.
Yeah, look at him. And he's smiling with his teeth and his good-looking hair and his glasses. His name is EJ.
Who's that good-looking dude?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh my,
There he
my
is.
brother.
And then
Uh-huh.
we did like there was one guy that we practiced with, I think,
did
because
practice.
he looked at me
Mhm, he did look at you.
and I
Mhm.
scampered away.
She did. It was
What?
like he looked at her and he was trying to do the eye contact thing, and then she goes like this, literally.
Why did you do
Okay,
that?
so Kelly, you're
Literally
not.
how she walked away.
So you're not
literally.
ready. You're not ready to date.
No, she
no,
is.
She is.
I'm ready.
She
to date.
is.
I forgot how to flirt.
She is.
No, it's like this, Vic. It's like I want to jump out of a plane and parachute, but once the door opens, you're like, screw that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right.
That's where she is. That's where she is
Yeah.
right now, man.
And
Mhm.
I think what I started realizing throughout the night.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to have like mercy on me. I was married for 20
And to
years.
be honest, you left a little too early because I was like, you haven't even got where
We
the,
came back
you
in
haven't-
though. We
you
came back in.
You
Yeah.
didn't even get to where the guys that know
Mhm.
how to do this professionally.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I need to stop doing is I need to stop. I guess like I always been told growing up that like, and especially with guys at bars, all they want to do is sleep with you. All they want to do is sleep with you. So I feel like
Okay.
every guy that comes up and talks to me, I'm like, I'm not sleeping with you. And I think I need to get rid of that mindset and
Yeah.
know that people just talk to each other
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't exchange numbers. They don't go home with each other. Not every guy who talks to me is trying to hit on me.
Yeah.
And I need to like get
What's
rid
your
of that
options,
defense
man?
mechanism.
What's your Bumble or Match.com? Swipe left, swipe
No,
right
this-
crap.
Oh, shit.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Where we were at was much better than the swipe here and swipe there and all that.
You
because
had
there
it
was,
in your hands.
there was
You
some
can
really
literally
nice guys there. There
pinch
really
their
was.
nose and do all kinds of stuff.
I like being there
Yeah.
gave me hope.
Yeah.
That,
Yes,
like,
there was
oh,
great men there.
like maybe I won't be alone forever and I can
Mhm.
talk to people in person because the online thing is not my deal.
Well, we had a listener yesterday, viewer, chime in and tell us and want us to give you this information. If they're still on the line, great. I saw them earlier. If not, that's fine. That allegedly there's something with our bodies.
Mhm.
There's something with frequency and pheromones when it comes to desperation and you're not interested. When you are not interested and or taken, you give off a vibe that makes other people want you. When you are looking,
Mhm.
some might call it desperation, not saying that term for you, or desperate, or like on the prowl, looking, your body gives off this vibe, this
Yeah.
frequency that is not as attractive to the opposite sex.
Yeah. I mean, like my brain was on the prowl, but my body was running to hide in the corner.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I had,
Truth.
I can't figure that one out.
Truth.
I had no idea that was how closed off I behaved in public.
Could you see yourself being a sugar mama?
A sugar mama.
Well, somebody's saying on the chat line that these men are looking for sugar mamas, and
No,
that
they're
is
not.
true. Well, one
they're not.
was because one did say in my ear something about would either one or me or Kelly be a sugar mama.
Well, we talked about that last week.
We did, and I just laughed. I just laughed. That's
like
all I
we
did.
we give them money to hang out with us and be our husbands.
Well, I think the joke, or maybe it
You ever
wasn't a
heard of
joke,
sugar daddy?
that
A
he
kept man,
doesn't
a
want
kept
to
man.
work, and that we would
Like
be the
Vic.
ones that work.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. So
Oh.
I will say that like by as the night progressed, I would say, Lizzie, I got way better.
You did. You absolutely did.
The first hour and a half, I was so uptight, and I'm so friendly, which is weird. But like a guy, tickled my armpit when I walked by. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like just laughing and smiling. I'm like, okay, I just need to remember that people touch each other out in public.
They were touching a lot that night for sure.
Where did you come from? I mean, so where did you meet your husband?
Where did you come from?
In radio.
In radio.
Yeah.
And that was 1990 what?
2000.
Okay.
Maybe we just need to take her to some other place.
Well, but here's the deal too.
Wait, but so what I was thinking is when Lizzie was saying this, Helen's does have a vibe. It has a Ladue, West County kind of vibe.
It's very open.
Maybe the next one.
No, it doesn't.
I thought it had a good old boy.
It's like
mentality.
It's like a soccer park. People go there. It's the people that go to the Blues games and to the.
Okay, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
The next one we should do. We should get you all dolled up.
No.
Listen to me.
Don't say it.
Take her ass to Napoli.
Don't even.
That is a different vibe, but I'm not sure that. Well, we should do it for an experiment, but I don't think your guys are at Napoli. I think your guys.
Who cares?
You just never know.
It doesn't matter.
Well, that's true.
It's like an experiment. We should be filming this crap. A Napoli. You've been to Napoli, right?
It sounds fancy. Is it fancy? I don't go fancy places. No.
It's a meat market on another level.
But those are probably like all the pretty boys. Lizzie,
no. You're not listening to me. You're not listening. You have to experiment to see what happens when you just go to the bar and you get yourself a nice cosmopolitan.
No, it's a Bahama Mama.
A Bahama Mama. And you're decked out a little bit and you're having a nice conversation with Vic and Lizzie. And you're just talking. And all of a sudden, some guy comes up with a Lambo and says, hey, what's your name?
And then Lambo?
Yeah, or whatever.
She wants a truck.
Range
She wants a
Rover.
guy with a truck.
Did you get a pair of heels yet?
No, but I got
TikTok shop. They have them all over the place. Get some.
I'll get a pair of heels.
Just go get a pair of heels.
Somebody saying on the chat, what about Brewski's? Well, you can go there.
Brewski's is another place.
But Christy, myself, and Kelly says that's where women like come at you with your.
It's
a different vibe.
It is a different vibe.
I was not a fan. No, so here's the thing. I grew up a tomboy and I only had like long-term boyfriends until now. And because as an adult, I've had so many good friendships with men, like flirting with men is off limits to me because that's how I keep friendships with men.
But how does a woman flirt with a man?
Lizzie was showing me. I mean, she was just the minute they started talking, she was like a daisy flower.
But how does a man know if they're
that's just really who I am.
How does a man know if they're being flirted with? Because people have different personalities. For example,
they know. Guys know. Guys know.
I would not know because I'm not assuming like that. I would never know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're an exception to the rule because people can come up and flirt to you, and I've seen it, and you don't respond at all. Well, first of all, you've got a great girlfriend, so you're not going to do that anyway. But sometimes I think maybe you don't know, and you know why?
Because you don't assume.
Well, you can't assume. You can't assume. And everybody comes up to you that way, though, Vic, because everybody thinks you're good looking. So everyone flirts with you.
Yeah. Well,
so you don't matter.
So awesome.
So you don't matter. But people do that to Eric, too. People do that to yeah.
They do not.
Oh, really?
And I'm fine with that.
You didn't see the girls like, okay, so you
Eric,
take Kelly and
those girls are all
yeah,
over
they
you.
did. The girls think he is hot. And we go into the kitchen.
What?
Yeah, they
That says no one ever.
Okay, well, your girlfriend is hot, and she's a
hot.
gal too.
But
she is hot,
but she's blind.
But you know,
she's blind. You know, you're being modest.
No,
you know the
she can
girls
see
think
a
you're
little.
hot.
No,
she can see a little.
So you
bit.
would know if a woman's flirting with you.
But mine is a little different because there's degrees of flirting.
See, the TV industry destroyed me in that because it's always so fake. There's, hey, you smile nice to everybody.
I think that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
like
you're like that. That's the comparison.
I'm so used to talking to people as like the lady on TikTok or so, that it's like I forget that
but you've got a leg up because you are a communicator.
Yes.
You have a little bit of a leg up from some shy person that just got out of a marriage.
Yes.
You do have the ability to turn it on and go, "What's up, dog? What are some of your interests?"
So I'm learning flirting. I think that one thing
what a great name for a book. Go ahead.
I'm learning flirting.
One thing that I observed is when you flirt with somebody, apparently like you come up with reasons to touch them, like on their arm or something like that.
Touch is important in human.
Yeah, you do. You have to come up to somebody, like I said, to a person. You have to have a reason to go up to him. A guy, we're clearly in South County, and everybody was from South County, but I saw somebody that had a shirt that was obviously St. Charles County.
God, that was another guy she went and ran and got for me. Like pulled him away from the bar and was like,
I did.
Come meet my friend Kelly. She likes guys with beards.
And he came over and we had a good conversation. And
I'm just having a problem with seeing why this is a bad thing. Or did you have
It's
fun?
a good thing.
Did you have fun?
It was a good thing what
had
happened.
more fun than I've had that I can remember.
It was so fun. We had so much fun.
We're playing this new place in South County called the Bullpen tomorrow night. That place is off the chain fun. And this is like
what's it called?
It's called the Bullpen. It's a new place in like
where?
It's too far for you guys. It's in Farmington, Missouri.
Oh, that sounds like a field trip.
It is a field trip.
Yeah.
But it's far enough where we could come home if we wanted to, or we stay there.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, if picking someone up is your ideal thing.
Well, what do you mean by picking someone up? Like, I'm not looking to take anybody home.
She wants a boyfriend. She doesn't want a one-hit wonder. She wants a relationship eventually.
This is hard because
she doesn't want a one-hit wonder.
This is hard because I'm kind of in the same school. I don't understand the kids with the swipe left, and then the hookup thing. I still, in my brain, think that Stages and Mississippi Nights are around. And I know they're not. But I still have that thing in my brain where it's like you walk into the place, you get a cocktail, you talk with your friends, your eye slides to the right, there's a chick, and you go, "What's up?"
For our viewers and listeners who may not know, Erica's referring to 80s, 90s downtown St. Louis.
And then they say, "What's up to you?"
And was kind of like that.
And then the "What's up" turns into a whatever that's going to turn into.
Right.
And that's how you hooked up back in the day. And it all started with a "What's up."
But back then I was like, I had my time when I would go out and meet a guy and like make out with some random dude in a bar when I'm 20 years old. But I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm not interested in making out with a stranger.
That means nothing.
But
that means nothing.
So when you say pick up a guy, you mean
hate that. The terminology I use is not necessarily.
That's what I think I'm getting lost on, is the pick up a guy. I would say make a connection with a guy. Because picking up a guy, I'm not looking to take
not a physical
home.
Okay, but you can check it out. You can sit at a bar and have a conversation with this guy about, man, the Blues, they just don't look like they got it. Or, hey, my daughter's a hockey player. What? Where's she play hockey at? And then all of a sudden, that's a 20-minute conversation. My son plays football for blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God, this is great. All of a sudden, now you're not, it's not a pickup anymore. It's
we're just talking.
We're having a good time. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing tomorrow? You want to continue this conversation over cocktails or a hot coffee and walking through the botanical gardens? Boom.
And I'm trying to be, like you mentioned the hockey thing, I'm trying to be not more feminine, but I'm trying to be less, I don't know, not masculine, but when I go places, like
guys love feminine.
I know. I like to take up a lot of space. I kind of operate like a dude, like that, like honest to God, that's what it felt like. And so I'm trying to remember, you're a girl, be a girl. You don't always have to talk about guns and hockey. Like you
guys like that though. Hey,
you can talk about guns and hockey.
We don't want to talk about your feminine products. We want to talk about guns and hockey. We want to talk about whatever's common.
Yeah.
Hey, I like magnolias. Oh, I like tulips.
Okay, so that's
oh my God.
Yeah.
Magnolias and tulips. Let's talk about that for half an hour.
I don't know magnolias and
whatever.
I think some of the guys that we talked to last Saturday night would have talked about tulips. I think there was some tulip.
So were you going to give this a shot again? Because think about how much
you could write a book doing this.
You have come out of the box
had
so
a blast
much since you joined the show. You came to us as a person that said, "Nope, I'm not going out. I don't need to go out. I'm a homebody. I just want to sit home." And not that you don't sit in sweats and watch crime and eat popcorn or chocolate anymore.
But you can't live your life like that.
But you are but now you're open.
So
you're out there.
My husband and I separated in April of last year, and I stayed home for 8 months. I stayed home from April to December, did not leave the house unless I absolutely had to. And so January, February, we're about 8 weeks into me. It's like learning to be a person again. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, though, Lizzie can be my wing girl anytime because I
loved it.
I think she has got my type down to a science.
Yeah. Figured it out.
Because all night she's like, "What about him?" I'm like, no, his face is too skinny. What about him? And just all the like little intricacies that by the end of the night, she was like nailing it.
I was like, that's the one. That's what. And hey, Joe, find the video too, because Megan on the chat line said something about you maybe can have some, I don't know, some courage by maybe you have a drink or something like that.
I don't need
She doesn't drink. She didn't need that. And that's what I was
No.
going to show you. She didn't need that. There's a picture of her where she loosened up and had nothing to do with alcohol. It's just her. And she was having fun. There's a video.
Oh, was I dancing?
You were dancing. There's a video of Kelly dancing and it's really cute. And that's the Kelly. When you see her, that is Kelly. That's not Kelly being somebody that's not Kelly.
When I'm outgoing and super fun and talking to everybody. But then as soon as a boy starts to talk to me, then I got to pretend like I'm dead. Like,
yeah.
Did you post about this on your social media last week?
No, I saved it all for
see
today.
that.
I saved it all for today.
I think you should post.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I'm trying this new thing. It's called dating. Does anybody have any advice? It's a little awkward for me. I've come out of my shell. I'm kind of getting there, but you know what? I'm not fully there yet.
Well, and Donna said, did you dance? Yes, she danced.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
actually a good
I'll
dancer.
dance all night long and I'll be social all night long. It's just like when a boy acts like he likes me, then I'm like, suddenly like, I'm in 5th grade again.
Yeah.
Well, and that's normal. I mean, we're making fun of it right now, but that's normal. Do you have the video, Joe? Yeah, play the video. Her dancing. She's so damn cute.
So in my
that
is adorable.
Isn't that adorable?
Come on.
That's Kelly. That
You
is
should
who
put that on
Kelly
your
is.
TikTok page right there.
She's beautiful. She's fun. So everything that you think about her, she's even better in person. She's fun and she's humble as hell.
Yeah.
That what I learned about her is she's so likable, and it's fun making fun of her at the beginning. But really, what I've learned about Kelly, she is so humble and fun and likable.
Yeah.
Not to mention very pretty.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I love being in public. It's just I was married for 20 years. I'm not used to people hitting on me, and it's confusing, and I don't know what their intentions are. It's like, are you hitting on me because you want to take me home tonight, or are you hitting on me because you're interested? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. I just want to say those two guys in the pictures that we showed, like just in case like they have girlfriends or something, they did nothing wrong. We were just being silly with them.
Yeah. No, we were just being fun. Nobody was inappropriate to us at all. We were just having fun.
I would hang out with those two guys over and over again. They were so much fun. But I am going to go out Saturday night with my girlfriend Amanda, who is super outgoing like Lizzie. Lizzie, you're more than welcome to join us. I have no idea where we're going to go or what we're going to do.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad that you're going. I'm glad just think about what you just said. That's 2 weekends in a row. You go, girl.
But you know what? It does become a lifestyle after a while. It's what started out as I'm going to stay on the couch watching Matlock episodes turns into I can't wait for Saturday.
I also think that I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I think that I spent a long time being very judgmental of people who hang out in bars, and that this mindset that they're all drunks and they have no home life, and that's why they're out at these bars.
That was me while I was married. Then I got divorced.
So you did it opposite. Well, hey, Joe.
No, I judged like Kelly. Then I was like, oh shit, I'm single. Hey, now where are we going tonight?
What I found out is that, sure, there's a lot of people there like that, but there's also a lot of people who aren't drunks, who aren't looking to hook up.
They're just having fun.
Who just want to have fun. They listen to music. Maybe they're night owls like I am, and they don't want to be home all the time. And
I'll give you a little advice because I'm a victim of this myself. Always plan something too. I have friends that they have. It's like, what do you want to do for Saturday night? I don't know about you, but I'm going to the Cardinal game and we're going to hang out in the Cardinal clubhouse. And then after that, we're going to go to Ballpark Village. Like, oh, damn, you plan that whole thing out. And they plan stuff. Don't be a person like me who's like, it's Saturday night, 8:00. What do you want to do? I don't know. Because it never happens.
Right.
That
planning,
won't happen. That planning thing is very important. Like, what are you going to do tomorrow night? You have to have an answer. I'm going to go.
Well, I will say that I grew in leaps and bounds because Kelly, the first hour at Helen Fitzgerald, and Kelly, the third hour, were like two different people.
That's true.
And you'll get better, by the way.
That's true.
It's practice.
It's just
it is
loosening the hell up and not freaking out when someone touches me or gets in my space. Because I've always just been so defensive, and I've always been like head on a swivel and self-aware.
The more you get touched, the more you'll get used to it.
And it's true. You went from putting your hands over your face at the first picture to the end dancing.
Well, hell, you might even like
the picture of the boy in the blue hat, Joe. I don't know if you can pull it up or not. Whenever Lizzie took this picture, he put like his hands, he grabbed my hands and like wrapped his arms around my waist. It's the other guy.
That's a good looking guy.
Yeah, they were both cutie patooties.
okay, when he touched my waist, my soul left my body. I swear to God.
She was freaking out.
I was like, what?
Like in a good way?
No,
but not in a bad way, because I didn't feel it wasn't uncomfortable, but I was like, oh my God, somebody's touching me. Like I'm so used to not being touched.
Maybe just go with it.
And I wasn't threatened by it at all, but it just, like I said, my soul left my body because somebody hugged me around my waist.
He's a good looking dude.
Well, and I liked that guy because I thought, and he was pretending this older guy was his dad. And all night long, he and this guy, and when I say older, I'm saying he's in his 80s probably.
Yeah.
Was dancing all night. And he was so freaking cute. And he apparently goes to a lot of the Platinum Rock Legend concerts.
Okay.
And he was really cute. I've seen him before.
Wait a minute, he goes to a lot of them?
Well,
does he arrive early?
The 80-year-old.
Is he
the
part of the
80-year-old.
meat market?
No, most of the
80-year-old.
time people are they're young. Most of the time they're young.
No, that guy in the blue hat I think is way too young for me, and he's just a friendly guy. He was hanging out with everybody. And
what's an age? What, do you have to put an age on something?
I guess not.
No,
Why not?
you don't have to put an age on it. You do not have to. It doesn't matter anymore. If somebody's older, younger, it doesn't matter.
It does not these days.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. No.
Because like Lizzie was like, what about him? I'm like, there's no way. He's too young. He's too cute. Like there.
Why?
But you're cute enough. I mean, you are.
This is a movie. I'm trying to think who would play you. This whole thing is no.
I know it's like The Notebook on crack.
Yeah,
it is on The Notebook on crack. That's for sure. It totally is. It totally is.
It's like what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
The Notebook on crack, but I'm looking for a hillbilly.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
No, but just embrace.
I like her type.
Embrace your inner cougar. It is you.
I do think I'm a cougar. I think I like younger guys.
Yes.
You did. You clearly liked younger guys. One of the guys, and I don't even know if I said that to you at night, but she pointed to a guy and she's like, that's like, if he was older, that is exactly him. And he had like a beard, a little bit longer hair, and he had glasses or whatever. And I didn't say it that night because I didn't want to kill the mood. I'm like, that's my son.
Your kid's
like literally, because he looks exactly like my son.
Stop everything. Because when towards the end of the night, Lizzie was like, I think my type is your son, because but you're like,
my
he's
son.
married or he's got whatever. So literally 2 days later, I'm scrolling Facebook. I'm like, who's this hot guy on my page? It was Lizzie's son. She had posted pictures.
Her type is my son.
No,
he's married, and Jen would not like that. But her type is literally my son.
This is your new show. It's called Kelly Cougar on YouTube.
Kelly Cougar. Well, and anytime you want to meet somebody, Joe, cue this up. I know we're talking about Kelly, but I have to get this in about Eric. There's 2 videos about Eric, and people keep saying to me, I've not been out to a concert yet. What does he look like on stage? Well, whenever I go, and thank God Christy likes me and I like her, because I'm constantly videotaping Eric up on stage because he's so good. Okay, so here's a couple of videos playing both. I know, but you're great.
That would be like the weatherman stealing the show.
Yeah, but you do steal the show. You're just humble. He does steal the show.
Yeah,
he does steal the show. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
That's all right.
It's just technology.
Yeah, it is. And do the other one,
I can't
Joe.
stand seeing myself.
I know, but do another one. Embarrassing. One more, Joe.
If you don't want to play
but Eric,
yeah, do play.
I think you get better
I think
every
I
week.
sent one of Eric too.
I do too.
After 40 years, that's a lot.
No,
of
Eric's really good. He's really good.
Actually, the bass is really good, don't it?
Yeah. I mean, you guys were great that night. You guys are great anytime, but I highly recommend, if you're married, you're single, whatever, you've got to go to a Platinum Rock Legends concert. First of all, you get to see Eric, and Kelly saw this outside of there. Eric is very personable. You can go right up to him and he will talk to you regardless. I mean, you just say, hey, I listened to Cancel This and I hear you on Fridays. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Do it.
God,
do it.
Shit, back in the old days when we did the show on the other station and we had the little militant midget running around all the time. I used to have people come up all the time saying, I totally agree with you, not that other girl. I mean, I would be loading in, my cords would be all over the place. I mean, it would be 5 minutes of like, thank you, I totally appreciate it.
Thank you, I totally appreciate you. And now to be like, oh my God, that Lizzie, I'm so tired of hearing your Francis Howell stories, because Eric and I get along really well.
You've got to keep us posted on this dating thing, and we'll continue to talk about it.
And I'm open to more dating tips, because besides, apparently, in order to get a boyfriend, you have to be nice to boys. So I've learned that.
No, that's not true. You just
at least at first. At least at first, I think. Don't you think? And then afterwards,
maybe
whatever.
receptive.
Yeah. So
yeah, receptive. That's That is the word.
I think you're in an interesting
Yes.
place right now, and I wish you would do this. I don't think you will because I think you have a lot of stuff going on. But I think if you journaled the coming out of being, because there's not a lot of books like this. Journaled, I'm divorced. This was phase 1. This was phase 2. This was the venues I went to meet people. This is what ultimately, if you did something like that, it would be a multi-billion dollar.
I'm way ahead of you. I've been
never mind.
I've been I have been documenting everything from the date with the
I want to be in the book
that ended up having a girlfriend and just kind of just talk to the camera of like I'm honestly documenting my whole dating journey. So, but I don't know how to flirt with boys besides touching them on the arm. That
would be a chapter.
And you've talked about this on your show too. By the way, Kelly has the Kelly Manno show.
Yes, she does
on
and
YouTube.
You need to check that out. And your show this week, I found this interesting because you had a guy that actually came after you.
Oh yeah, I had somebody post a hate video.
I pulled the video down. What you put on TikTok. Is it all right to show that and then have you explain?
Sure. I mean, honestly, when you are a creator and you put yourself out there, there's going to be people that don't like you. Oh, well, this is my whole TikTok, so it explains everything. So I'll just let it play.
Okay, check this out.
So last night I started getting messages from people telling me that this big YouTube creator, Jake Doolittle, had made a video about me. Like this 15-minute long video about, not really about, well, it was about me, but it was about my content and just kind of disputing a lot of the Gen X stuff that I talk about and things like that. Here's a little snippet.
Talking shit about those guys.
Because, sir, we will fuck you up.
Also, it nearly seems like a threat. Because, sir, we'll fuck you up. For what reason, though? What did we do? We hope for the fucking comments to be like, yes, we're gonna fuck up every Gen Zer we see.
We fought in real life, not on the internet.
We fought in real life and not on the internet. Oh, you fought one person? I imagine the whole internet after you. It's back to Kelly.
We are the last generation of feral children.
We are the last generation of feral children? What are you talking? I mean, so this is again that generalization. I was somewhat of a feral child, thank you very much. Let's look up the definition of feral child. I mean, my mother and father were both wolves, have grown up with limited human contact. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was in a hospital. I was in a hospital. I also was homeschooled. Can you tell, Kelly?
You can cut it there, Joe.
That is just
me talking.
Okay.
I love this.
So yes,
I absolutely love this cat. This is good stuff. I wish he would come on. Does anyone have a phone number?
Midnight says he clearly needs a safe space.
Yeah, he does.
And he screams jealousy, according to Megan.
Well, I mean,
he's massive, though. He is.
Well, I'm bigger than him on all platforms but YouTube.
Yeah, except YouTube.
He's got 250,000 followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody took the time, I know how long it takes to edit a 2-minute video. This guy went through my entire manifest of content and the fact that he was writing notes and laying it out and did an entire 16-minute video about how much he dislikes me.
Oh my God. That was like Biden last night. He brought up Trump 14 times.
God, I was like, do you not have anything better to do? I mean, and I get it, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's content for him.
Yeah.
And if he goes after a big creator, he knows he's going to get attention
and you
for
should
it.
go after him too.
So I've been.
You should.
Here's the thing. It's pointless.
No.
The minute he said that he was feral and then mentioned he was homeschooled in the same sentence,
I died.
He's too fucking stupid to have a conversation with.
No, he loses the battle. Everybody in this room understands why he loses the battle as far as what's going on here. But I always go like this because we're all Gen X. I don't know if you are now. Maybe you're a millennial, but but we're a Gen X. So before that was the boomers. They had the ability to go, when I was your age, we had houses without air conditioning and we put ice in the ice boxes. And so they had their era as well. And I always think about it, I'm like, our era was better and it's quantifiable. But at some point you have to go, man, they got it kind of good in this Gen Z era. They got technology out the ass. They know everything that fast because of Google and AI now.
Yeah.
These kids are pampered by their parents. Their social security is their mommy and daddy's basement.
Yeah.
They don't understand. But what you say resonates with us so hardcore. It's unbelievable. I cannot tell you how many times I talk about drinking out of hoses now.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about that.
Well,
as a matter of fact, I might even start a restaurant that only has hose water.
No, don't do it now. The water is much more dangerous now than it was in the 80s. Do not drink public water.
Right,
So,
right.
One thing that I learned working with Steve and DC for so long, that especially Steve taught me is you don't bark at a smaller dog. The lion doesn't worry about the opinion of the sheep. I'm so much further in my career than him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if he's got more YouTube followers. I'm doing really well, and I'm just not in a position to waste my energy on that, because as much as I could make a clapback video that would send him to therapy for a fucking decade.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably
Then you got to do it.
I am not scared to say anything to anybody, but it's there's this book that I read called The Subtle Art of Giving a Fuck. And it's you have so many fucks to give every week. And I just don't really think I give a fuck about this guy.
I need to find that book.
It's the best book you'll ever read.
I got to give less fucks.
Yes, you do. You do.
It is the best book you'll ever read. And again, he's a smaller dog. Now, if it were someone bigger that went after me, well, then I want their audience. So I'm coming back for you. Yeah. But I think that the best thing I could do for this kid would be make a hate video on TikTok, because then he's going to get all this attention on TikTok that he doesn't have. And then all of his followers are going to come and be mad at me. And then my followers are going to fight with his followers. So that's
why he came. Because if he did the work and went through your entire library of content, then he clearly knows how many followers you have.
Oh, of course he does. And I can't imagine that he's so stupid that he doesn't understand that most of what I do is for fun and satire. And yes, it's what we really did, and it's how we lived, and it's how I feel. But a lot of my TikToks are kind of an exaggeration of me or stories that I had. It's entertainment.
Is that why the guy that was shirtless with his long hair and a stocking cap about the garden hose came after you? Did he have a big following?
No, but he's actually going to be on my show next week.
I can't wait to hear that.
You have him on your show?
Yes.
I love it.
Shirtless beanie man.
100% of everything you say to me is just better than what's going on now. The fact that you could go to school, walk in the door, no parents being home, and the door's not even locked. That era was real.
That was real. And
that
great.
era is gone.
Great. It is gone. It makes me sad.
The era that you could walk down St. Louis without having to worry about getting mugged. That was a real era.
That's right.
Cassette tapes for some reason were better.
It was street light time to go home. We already know about these things.
I was drunk on the landing for 4 years straight. And I never felt unsafe. I never felt unsafe.
Me neither.
Banana Joe's and Boomers and Morgan Street and, all of those. I never felt unsafe. I will not go downtown anymore. It has to be something really big that I really, really want to go to, because I have no interest in going downtown.
Yeah. I don't know. It's every era has the right to have what they want. And theirs is pretty good too. I would love, would you take an iPad back in 1990, if someone said, hey, Kelly, here's this new thing called an iPad. And you can learn anything you want. Not a phone, but an iPad where you're like, holy crap, what the hell is this? I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't do it.
Well, so my theory has always been that we jumped the shark with smartphones. So up until back when we just had a flip phone that we could call people with, and then text if it was urgent, because you had to press the number so many times. But it wasn't that was the sweet spot of technology, when we had cell phones and we were safe, but we did not have smartphones and we did not have the internet on them. We jumped the shark as a society when we went to smartphones. I agree. That's when it all went in the shitter.
There was a movie with Sylvester Stallone where he came out of hibernation or something like that.
He was frozen.
And the first thing he did was he got some girlfriend, but the way they had sex was they didn't touch each other. They had virtual sex. They put these goggles on.
My God.
And I'm thinking, we are one generation away from that. But
you know what? We probably are.
That's how you're going to start. There ain't going to be no Helen Fitzgerald's. It'll be goggles and a profile.
We're already there.
You think so?
Yeah, we already got. Eric, are you not familiar with the AI games that are out there?
No, I'm not.
Oh my God.
And you can play, there's
Demolition Man, Ben Kahn.
Demolition Man, that's right. That was it.
There's
he couldn't find toilet paper. Don't you guys use toilet paper?
There's sex video games, where you could make the girl do stuff. I mean, that's what I hear. I don't know. I don't.
She hasn't seen it for sure. Joe thought that was pretty funny.
Now you're getting Joe's universe.
No, I have
I
seen
think
it.
it's funny that she knows that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because when I saw it, I was like, "What the hell?" Okay, whatever.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to be human again this weekend. We'll see.
Damn.
I'm learning.
I
I'm
love it.
learning. I'm learning.
I love it.
But I mean, you think that's a very liberal thing. I mean, you might capture. I'm done with this conversation because what's going on in my mind right now, how we procreate in the future, how you don't even touch
You'll
anybody
be caught
anymore.
on that all day, won't you?
I am because that's how my brain works. I can't.
Well,
I can't unleash it.
That's how it is because this generation of kids, they don't want to talk to each other face to face. And one thing that blows my mind about the two generations is that when we were in high school, we would have school dances and we would slow dance with not just our boyfriends, but our boys that were friends.
Yes.
And we would wrap our arms around them and we would sway and swing for like 3 minutes to a song.
Yep.
And it was completely normal to touch each other and be in each other's space like this. At dances now, they will not play a slow song because those kids will not touch each other. There's no slow dancing.
What?
It does not exist.
It's gotten worse
No, I didn't know
because it's
that.
gotten worse because of the pandemic because
Yeah.
we weren't supposed to touch each other.
Here's the thing, though. They go back to parties and they touch each other.
Yeah.
Of course they do. They just. How do you know that, Vic?
Yeah.
Well, that
I've got kids.
that still happens. However, if you told one of my kids or their friends, "Hey, I want you to go slow dance with this kid in your math class for a 3-minute song and wrap your arms around," they'd be like, "What? No!" Oh, like they'd be like, "That's so awkward."
But we don't have ballads to dance to like that anymore.
We kind of do. We do. We have some.
No, there's nothing like an Eric 80s good ballad to slow dance. to.
Every country song with a guy in it is a ballad. Okay, there's no rock. Am I right to say that?
But we have like Adele, and we have
That's not
WAP.
That's not
what?
You
No.
mean Shoop.
Cardi
Never
B
mind.
does not count. No, I think we do have have slow songs.
Play
even if
Anita
it's
Baker.
country.
Fine, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Here's the deal with the song. I remember being in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and you would go to square dancing classes. Anybody?
Oh hell yeah! I had to
And
take
you
square dancing
and
for
you,
graduate.
and you prayed to the square dancing gods that you got next to the your partner was the hot one. You remember that? And if you weren't, you were like, "This sucks." And then as soon as you would take their hands, their nice soft little hands, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, now that's what it meant to be in love." That was the start of teaching kids
to touch
something
each other,
good, right?
To touch each other appropriately and be in each other's space.
Yes.
It was such a good way to treat respect and stuff. And now we can't because you can't be little Darla in the corner that didn't get picked. Because if you're little Darla, you go to the principal or Darla's mom calls and says, Eric Johnson didn't pick me and blah, blah, blah. And that's why it stopped. It had nothing to do with
Or
touching.
worse, the non-binary people who are like, I'm a woman, I'm a girl. And, and then the 2 6th grade guys are dancing next to each other because
That's right. That's
one thing so you can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
our era just was better. I'm
100%.
sorry.
I agree. My kids think our era was better.
We
too.
were the last era to grow up with family structure. We were the last era to grow up with an organic situation. I think we had cool technology, but not the kind of technology that was going to screw with us long term.
We could come home from school and not think about school anymore, and also think about marriages because back in the day, the husband and wife said goodbye to each other in the morning, and did not speak to each other
all day
for 9 or
All
10
day.
hours.
That's right.
And then when they come home, they've got things to talk about, and so now it's like you talk to your spouse so much during the day, and we are so guilty of over communicating.
Yeah.
That it just it burns us out on our spouses. And so
that's a really good point. That is true because there'll be times that he and I will be my husband and I will be talking back about either chores or whatever it is. And by the time we get home, we've talked all day texting.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. And if you do, you don't have meaningful conversations anymore.
Right. And
Yeah,
and it
good
was
point.
the same with school. We'd come home, we wouldn't see our friends all night. So the next day when we saw them, oh my God, guess what happened last night? Or did you watch this TV show? And that's the other thing. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but this is also why the world sucks. Is back in our day, everybody watched the same thing. So you could be like, oh my God, did you see Seinfeld last night? And most of the people would be like, yeah, I did. But now there's so much out there that it's like, I'll find this awesome show and I don't know anybody else watching it. And like, that's not fun. It's not fun. We're all spread out doing our own thing. And It's
and binge
unfortunate.
watching. There was no such thing as binge watching.
I
back in the
still
day.
cannot binge watch. I cannot sit still that long. I can do maybe 2 episodes of something.
Yeah,
maybe.
I did the whole Ozark thing in like one day.
Well, that
I did too. Watch the whole thing.
I'll tell you what. That,
I liked it.
if there's anything I could binge, it would be that.
Yeah,
Me too.
I
Binged it.
agree. Do you have a list? I mean, I'm asking for a reason, but do you have a list of all the Gen X stuff? Like, oh, I came up with another one. Right? Do you have a list of all that stuff?
I have.
Or do you just when it goes away?
I know I have like 2 or 3 notebooks laying around the house that I am just scribbling in constantly, and like honestly, I have more content ideas than I have time to do them.
I think I'm not a big person that says, "Oh, go write a book and you'll make $1 million." But I think that would make $1 million. I think of that as a legitimately organic money making opportunity.
As much as people want me to go and do stand up, that I've said no to 1 million times.
Yeah.
The idea of writing a book is really interesting to me because that's something I could do on my own, and there's no timeline for it. So that's something I'm going to look into. But I don't know. I've never.
Give me your top 10 Gen X things.
Top 10 Gen X things.
What do you mean by that?
Drinking out of a hose.
Okay, drinking out of a hose. Taking a dump without a cell phone. I mean, like that.
Gosh,
Wait a minute.
Wow.
But does a phone in the bathroom count? Because I've seen a home
with like the cord.
Yeah.
What my grandma had one that she would sit on the toilet with her long cord and
that
say
counts.
and talk
That
to her
counts.
sisters.
That counts.
Yeah. Another thing is like when we got hurt, we were in trouble. It was like if you built a bike ramp and you broke your leg, your parents were pissed they had to take you to the hospital. They're like, the hell? Well, I'm gonna finish cooking dinner. Or like if you break your leg, don't come running to me.
The converse of that would be rub some dirt on it and shut the hell up.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
Yeah, just the interaction between kids and parents. I mean, our parents needed commercials to remind them that they had kids.
Yeah.
Every night, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? There was a commercial they made that would teach you how to hug, that reminded you to hug your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of that stuff.
Sleepovers. Is sleepovers a thing anymore?
Not
as much because people are really afraid. My older kids did.
I'm staying over.
Well, no, they're afraid. No, they're not afraid of other kids.
No,
they're afraid of the dads or the moms now because there's so
I don't
many
think that's a thing,
pedophiles.
Vic.
No, it is.
Yeah, I don't want my kids to really spend the night unless I know them or it's at my house.
Up until my son's still, but my youngest is 16. But even up till now, he's been spending the night at his friend's house a lot.
Well, that's different. I think it's also, I'm not going to say it's different for boys.
I'm not going to say that I can't speak to an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old right now.
I think that a lot of parents have their own trauma growing up and they are protecting their kids from it. And I always told myself, I am never going to put my kids in a position for that to happen.
Yeah. Correct.
So when they were under the age of 12, 13, I mean, there was maybe 1 or 2 friends' houses that they would spend the night.
Sure.
But I knew everything. I knew the parents. I knew the older brothers. I knew this. I knew that.
Yeah.
And now my kids are older. So that's when the sleepovers happen more, and it's not as scary. But back in the day, I remember with like my son, if one of my daughters was having anyone to sleep over, they had to sleep on different floors of the house. So like Rocky would stay up in his room and then the girls would sleep downstairs. They wouldn't sleep up in the girls' room because I don't even want to put Rocky in a position where a girl can say, well, I was in the kitchen with Rocky at 2 a.m. and he bumped into me weird, or he, not even going to make it an option.
That's good.
And that's to protect Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, you guys are overthinking just sleep.
No,
back
we're
in
not.
my day,
No, we're not.
My day, I would have a bag by the door at 5 o'clock. And I think there were a few times I didn't even tell my mom I was going somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't understand the conversations I've had to have with my teenage son. Is like, do not be in a room by yourself with any girl you
have
don't know.
Have that conversation.
You do, because our boys now are targets of girls
They are
setting them up. Eric,
No,
it's a true thing.
I know a kid or a guy whose son goes to a local high school, Francis Howell. He was accused of raping this girl. And he had and she spread these rumors. And the reason I can say this is because I saw the text messages myself from said girl about this boy after she said it happened. Oh, I love you and I want to be with. And this kid's life for a year and a half at Francis Howell were ruined.
Wow.
Then he had to go to another Catholic high school where those rumors persisted until they got to know him. And then he showed them text messages and then word spread. this to Eric. That's the
It's
I guess you're
a
right.
bad problem because our
It is a bad
our
problem.
girls today as a whole,
but they actually did kiss though.
our teenage girls as a whole are very, very broken and insecure, and it is fashionable to be traumatized.
Yes,
That's how,
it is, and have anxiety.
It's fashionable to be a victim.
Yes,
it is.
That's how you
you're
get
right.
attention
It
from
is.
boys.
Uh-huh.
So they will take the
true.
littlest thing and blow it up into something bigger because they get attention for it.
Yes,
They get attention.
And we
for it.
are in the attention
we are.
society right
Yes,
now.
we
So if I don't
absolutely
get attention from Facebook, I'll get attention from this wild accusation.
Correct, correct. And they're willing to do it.
yeah.
Or their parents
But
found
not
out that they
everybody.
kissed.
I mean, it can happen.
How many of these college football players and high school players that have been accused of stuff do you think is just to get
It's
likes?
impossible for us
It's
to know.
impossible
Yeah, I
for
know.
us to know
because
that, isn't it?
the thing is, there's so many real victims out there, and you don't want to jeopardize
Exactly.
them
That's right.
not coming forward.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're especially back in the Me Too stuff, we are getting towards a pandemic where some of the guys were being victimized
Yeah.
because they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's just having to find a middle ground. But I would talk to my daughters all the time growing up. I'm like, if you ever they take pictures of themselves crying and put it online because they get attention for that.
Yeah.
I told my girls, I'm like, if you ever take a fucking crying
Exactly.
selfie, I'm taking your phone away.
Yeah. Mhm.
You are too fucking
Yeah.
strong for that shit.
Yeah,
So,
do not do that. Do not
Kids
do it.
are kids to TikTok shop addicted to go to the malls anymore.
Yeah, malls are dead.
Yeah.
Malls are dead.
Yeah,
Malls are
kids don't
dead.
go to the mall.
What's
They
going to
do not
happen?
go
All
to the
these
mall.
malls
Ooh,
around St.
I
Louis.
think they should turn them into Gen X retirement homes.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. How fun would that be?
And
You
like-
get your pretzels
What
from
would the,
Auntie
what would
Anne's.
the what would the sleeping
cookies?
arrangement be there?
Well, I think that all of the all of the
Like a dormitory,
yeah, you could
like
do
Lindenwood College.
like the big stores like Dillard's or whatever, like they could have like entire like rows of beds and everybody's got their own little bed and dresser and like you can divide it with like little room dividers. You got
Yeah.
somewhere to sleep. But then you wake up in the morning and you go down to Glamour Shots and get your picture taken.
Glamour Shots.
Yes. And then you go down to Tape World and get like a new CD.
Yes.
And in this
We bring peaches back.
Yes, and
Yeah.
in this world, nothing of technology exists.
Yeah.
We don't have smartphones. We just have landlines in the mall, and it's just this idea in my head that I really want to do.
And you know what? In New York, they have done that, and I think somewhere else, but they have taken these malls and they haven't made them like Gen X retirement homes, but they've made them like little bitty apartments because they're running out of space.
Yeah.
I like your idea. We have plenty of apartments around here,
Mhm.
but a Gen X retirement home.
All
I
those
love
little
it.
shops that you could turn into like a little bedroom for like 2 people.
Yes.
And have like a roommate. It's just like a retirement home, but
Love
you're
it.
in a mall. You can go to the movies. You can go eat.
Wait a minute. Wait. So you're talking about making a miniature type of Newtown.
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yes, but in an old mall.
So there's a lit Chesterfield. I think they're doing something weird.
They're
like
knocking it
Chesterfield
that
Mall.
down, but
But let's say West County Mall just goes
Mhm.
tits up, the way of the dodo bird. You could make Macy's. If you don't know about this place, look it up. But you could take Macy's. That's where you live.
Right.
And you can only have a certain amount of beds. You have to be legit. You have to be a card carrying Gen Xer.
Yes.
Dude, I
card-
would have
card-
4 of those cards.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, there you go.
Yeah.
You would have, and here's the other thing: your rent would be the same as 1987.
That would be amazing.
$250.
Love it.
And who's
Love it.
doing all of that?
And
Well, the Gen Xers, would be able to figure out how to do economics. It's the people today can't figure that out.
And we would not even really need staff or like
Club art.
janitorial because we clean up after ourselves.
That's
Yeah.
true. We do.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true story.
That's a good idea.
And every day at 5:00, your mom would yell over the speakers, "Time for dinner!"
right?
And then we would all go running.
That's right.
Oh my god.
We
That's
could ride
right.
bikes.
That's right. We could ride bikes in there. And you know what? Donna says call it Village X.
Yeah.
Call it Village
I
X.
like it.
I like
I
it.
am not-
Why
like
can't
it.
we not?
I want to do
produce
that.
this? Why can we not?
We need to
produce
do that. Think about that. That would be really good.
I want
because-
no part of that.
But you know, but you know what? They sell these malls now for a fraction of
Yeah.
the cost.
Yeah.
They sell these old movie theaters at a fraction of
Yeah.
the cost.
And the movie theaters could be where PRL plays 24 hours a day.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It would
Yeah.
just be different versions of PRL.
I would love it.
We all take a break.
Yeah.
We like the Blue Man groups.
The Blue Man Group. That's right. Oh my gosh, that is so great. That is
Yes.
so great.
Okay.
Eric, you can go do that at Delmar Gardens right now.
No, Delmar Gardens is legit for the boomers. Delmar
My
Gardens.
mom lives in a
Even
Delmar
though I would
Gardens.
love to live in Delmar Gardens, be
Mhm.
pushed around and go to karaoke all night.
Yeah.
I would dig that, but I'm too young. So that's legit boomer. She's talking about legit Gen X.
Yeah, that's
and we
right.
got to be ready to go.
That's right. I like that idea. I like that idea because the assisted living is cool. My mom lives in one and they have all the things that you're talking about, but it's still boomer-ish. We need a Gen X.
We need a Gen X mom.
Yes. I agree.
Well, that might be a good way to call the show today on that.
Yeah. And the Gen Z one will just be an Oculus.
Yes.
With,
An Oculus.
with a
I
blanket.
like that word. Yes. Yes.
You won't even know where you're at.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
You'll be in a tent somewhere.
And Vic, you are invited to come if you're
I'll come
nice.
visit. I'd like to visit.
Well, where are you going to live instead? Where would you
gonna
live?
do?
Where would you go live?
You going to hang out with the millennials?
We all attacked him.
I know, it doesn't make sense.
Where are you going to go live, Vic? We want that answer.
I'll figure it out.
No, we want it right now.
I don't want to live with a bunch of other people.
Well,
you just want to live by yourself,
but not
No.
now.
Off the grid Vic. That's the
Off
name
the
of my
grid
new
Vic.
my new song.
That's
This
right.
is when you're elderly. When you're
Yeah.
elderly and you have nobody to talk to because everybody's dead.
You couldn't not talk to people. If you lived on this cute little place all by yourself and maybe one other person, you'd be bored out of your gourd. You would
Then I
miss us.
want to come live at the mall.
Yeah. Then you'd want to come live at the mall. That's
It
what
would
we're
be a
talking about.
blast. We would bring Spencer's gifts back.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. That's it. We're done. Spencer's gift. The show's over.
Yeah.
Show's over, Vic.
All right, go get yourself
Spencer's
an Orange Julius as well.
And a pretzel. I want a pretzel.
It's the best idea I've ever had.
It really is.
Why can we not?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
We are.
We know people with money.
We do know people
Call
with
Tilly.
money. Mhm. Maybe he'll make us one.
All right, guys, that's been a fun Friday show.
Yeah,
all
for
over
sure.
the place. We appreciate you coming in, Kelly.
Yep.
Rocking and rolling. Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, Vic Faust, Projo in the house as well. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. Free for all Fridays. We have a lot of fun. Monday morning, we get a little bit more serious again, right out of the gate, talking about this cold water creek situation, contamination, getting serious in D.C., and Josh Hawley getting mean, saying, listen, I'm not voting for any money for Ukraine or anything else until we take care of victims back in the St. Louis area. So we'll jump into that Monday morning. Of course, you know what we do all the time. Check out our website, canceltheshow.com. Like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it. You can send stars as well. Have an awesome weekend. That does it for what we refer to as the fastest 2 hours in podcasting. March 8th. We'll catch up with you Monday. Kelly, if you get lucky this weekend, keep us posted.
I will.
I love it.
Oh.